Peace and blessings, Chantel. What's going on? What's going on? Know my work. Let's get it. Good morning to you all. I know, Becky. I love it. I love it. I love it, beloved. I love it. Mr. Enjoy Life. I see you. Cynthia, what's going on? Cynthia, you said you sitting in the dinner chair. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's discipline right there. I love it. I love it. Cynthia, give me one of them lollipops they got in the back. Give me one of them lollipops, Cynthia. Bring one of them lollipops out of their dentist office for me. T. Benz, let's go. Let's get it. Jude, I see you. Janika, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. I see you. I see you. Jazz, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Brock's in the building. Let's get it. Let's get it. Mindset Masters, let's go. Mindset Masters, let's go. New day, new mindset. That's it. New day, new mindset. That's it. That's how you win the game. New day, new mindset. Nephi, what's up, beloved? So your church is on, huh? I love it. Yeah, new day, new mindset. You got to embody that. Got Matara in the building. Let's go. Defensive player of the year. She blocking all shots. She blocking all hate. She blocking all negativity. Maywood, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Mindset Masters family is in the building. Maywood, I love that video that you created for us, beloved. Thank you so much for every single thing you do. Thank you so much for everything you do, beloved. Everything you do. Good morning to you all. Good morning to you all. Peace and blessings to you all. Welcome to TED Talk on TikTok. It's where you come to get your mindset taken to the next level. Reese's Pieces, I see you. Miss Harden, what's up, beloved? Yeah, that's it right there. All is well, all is well, all is well. Your life is in a mess. That's awesome. That's good. Your life is in a mess. That's the curriculum. You get in a toxic relationship. That's the curriculum. Your body's out of shape right now. That's the curriculum. You waking up to a life that you don't love. That's your curriculum. Your life is a masterclass, beloved. You got to focus on the curriculum. That's it. That's it. You got to focus on the curriculum. But the moment you start focusing on what somebody else is doing and what they have, and you comparing yourself to other people, you only compare yourself to other people because you haven't discovered your purpose. When you discover your purpose, you'll stop comparing yourself to other people. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it, because you're going to really understand. See, we walk around saying, oh, I'm a one of one. I know I'm a one of one, but you don't really embody that energy. Because if you truly embody that energy, you never accept less than you deserve. You'd never tolerate disrespect. You'd never show up small. You'd never not speak your truth. If you truly knew that you were a one of one, you would never settle for less than you deserve. You just wouldn't do it. When you embody that energy, you would never walk around and settle for anything less than you deserve. You're not going to do it. Think about what I'm saying. If you carrying the only diamond in the world, you got the only diamond. Everybody is coming to you. Ooh, let me see the diamond. Let me see the diamond. Let me see the diamond. You're not going to let someone disrespect that diamond. You're not going to let somebody put their hands on that diamond. Yeah, you can look at the diamond, but you ain't going to be to touch the diamond. You damn near ain't going to abuse it. You for damn sure ain't going to abuse it. Okay, well, you the diamond. So where the disrespect coming in at? Where the showing up small coming in at? Where the settling for less you deserve coming in at? Where's all that coming from? Allowing the person to show you twice what they've already shown you once. Where's all that coming from? And this is what I'm saying. Angela, what's up, beloved? This is what I'm saying to you guys. See, one more time. It's when you discover your purpose, the moment you discover your purpose, you'll never compare yourself to anyone else. I promise you won't. Because in order to discover your purpose means that you're already self-aware. And if you're already self-aware, what you're going to understand is that your purpose is what makes you unique. So that's the last thing you're going to want to do is compare yourself to someone else, because you understand your purpose is what makes you unique. God gave you a specific gift, a specific talent that no one else has. Some ability that no one else has, that the world needs. The problem is that for most people, they haven't unlocked it because we're too busy watching everyone else's. We're so focused on someone else's purpose that we don't discover our own. That's the real problem. Angela, thank you, beloved. I appreciate that, beloved. Good morning to you guys. Good morning to you guys. Peace and blessing to you. Ellie, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. Lena, I see you. I'm telling you, you say you got that tapper? Yeah, turn that bad boy up. Turn that bad boy up. Put the V12. We need the V12 version of that bad boy. We need the V12 version of the tapper. Just to keep. What's up, beloved? I'm telling you, man, you are one of one. You better walk like it, talk like it, act like it, think like it. Especially if you in our community, especially if you are in the Mindset Masters family, I'll drive to your front door. Let me find out you settling for less than you deserve. I'll pull straight up on your house. We ain't doing none of that. God put me in your life for a reason, and I'm going to make sure that you become everything that he created you to be. If I got to drag you, kick it, and scream. I'm pulling up straight on the front door. I'm in that Uber sitting outside. I might be out front of your house right now. I might be in front of your house right now. Mala, what's up, beloved? Red, I see you. But I'm serious when I say that, man. I get the fact that I get what we used to tolerate, and I get it all. I get it all. Angela, you said you think I'm telling you, this might just be a simulation right now. I might be in front of your house right now. T-Biz, T-Biz, I'm telling you, go peek out that window. I'll tell you, that might be me sitting out there. That might be me sitting out there. Red, what's up, beloved? I'm telling you. Now I'm gonna make sure God, he ain't gonna check me because y'all didn't become who y'all was supposed to be. Nah, he ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna say, God, I had to pull up on him, God. I had to pull up on him. I had to pull up in that Uber. I had to do it. I had to do it. Yeah. Top G, what's up, beloved? What's up, beloved? Do me a favor real quick, you guys, and share or repost a line for your stories if you haven't already done so, please. Jessica's in the building. What's up, Jessica? So good to see you. Turning heads, so good to see you. 601, let's get it. What's up, Carrie? So good to see you all. So good to see you all. Nephew, I already know. Yeah, you got to be allergic to disrespect. But you also got to be allergic to yesterday's version of you because, like I said, again, we just don't have time to do reverse anymore. I get before the self-awareness, I get it before the self-mastery. I get all the things that we had to do, before you became the version of yourself that you are right now. But now, that's over with. So whoever it is that did whatever it is they did, that's over with. Them days are over with. I don't care. I'm giving them who it was, whoever that person was that got off on you and disrespected you and the toxic relationships and showing up small and all of that. Yeah, that's over. That bus left a long time ago. Queen Ella, what's up, beloved? Iris, let's get it. Yeah, Iris, I know you're ready. May, what's up, beloved? So good to see you. So good to see you. Yeah, that was the last time. That's why I say, yeah, I used to tell people that all the time. Yeah, whatever you did, that was the best you was gonna get. See, I tell you guys this all the time. The worst that's ever happened to you is the worst that's ever happened to you. Because from this moment moving forward, all of that's over with now. The worst thing that ever happened to you already happened to you, beloved. All that's over with. So there's no need for us to put any more energy or invest any more energy in whatever that may have been. I'm drawing strength from that. I'm transmuting the negative energy from that. I'm using that as my springboard, as my catalyst. I'm using that as the very reason. The worst thing that has ever happened to you has already happened to you. I don't know what that thing is, and it's none of my business what it might be, but it already happened. And whatever that thing was brought you here. Now, what are you going to do? Who are you going to become now? That's what's important. That part right there, Reese. Yeah, that's what I'm telling you guys. I love to turn the negative into a positive. When you look at the Chinese character for crisis, it also represents opportunity, because inside of every crisis is an opportunity. That's their philosophy. Look for the opportunity. Stop focusing on the crisis. We've been programmed and conditioned to just focus on the crisis, so we never see the opportunity. Angela, I appreciate you, beloved. That's beautiful. I appreciate you, beloved. Type me in the comments real quick. Thank you for that, beloved. Type me in the comments real quick if this is your very first time on a live stream with me. If this is your very first time on a live stream with me, type me real quick. Let me. Worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. Run the play. That worst relationship that you had ever been in is already over with now. Run the play. That toxic person that was in your life is going to be the last toxic person that's in your life. Run the play. Whatever it is somebody took from you, that's the last that they're going to ever be able to take from you. Run the damn play. We know what happened yesterday. Get out of yesterday, because yesterday's already gotten out of you. We don't have time for yesterday no more. We already know what yesterday brought. We seen the movie. You was there. We already seen yesterday's movie, beloved. We don't have time to focus on that. The worst that's ever happened to you has already happened to you. That's the blessing in it right there. That's the absolute blessing in it right there. Whatever that war is you went through, whatever that worst moment was you had, already happened. Because now your awareness is getting ready to come online. Now your self-mastery is getting ready to come online. Now your spiritual contract and your understanding of that is getting ready to come online. Now we get ready to go tame your ego. We get ready to tame that programming condition. We get ready to tame that trauma. We get ready to tame your shadow. Everything's getting tamed now. Everything is getting ready to get in line. Fear is going to bow to you. Doubt is going to bow to you. Anxiety is going to bow to you. Depression is going to bow to you. All these things are going to bow to you. We ain't got time to be shrinking underneath the depression. No, depression, we understand what you are. Ego, we know your role. Shadow, we know you kick things different out, different versions of ourselves. We already understand all of that. Depression, we understand that it comes from clinging and being attached to something. Boom, we added that. We study detachment now. Anxiety, I understand that you come because there is no future. B, and most importantly, because I'm trying to solve problems in the future, but I'm punishing the current version of me while I'm in the process of doing it. We ain't doing that no more. We solve all of the problems that's in front of you right now. If it's not in front of you right now, we ain't dealing with it. Deal with what's in front of you. You got enough stuff going on in your life right now that's directly in front of you that needs your attention, so we don't need to focus on some future moment if we haven't mastered the moment we standing in. Period. Miss Tia, what's up, beloved? Think about what I'm saying. That's the equivalent of your house is filthy dirty. You wake up on a Sunday morning. I know your house is filthy dirty. And instead of you cleaning your house, you walk outside and go down to the neighbor's house and start helping them clean theirs. Well, wait a minute, we ain't got your house straight yet. That's what happens when you leave the present moment trying to solve some future problem. You haven't mastered the problems that's in front of you right now. Why are we all out in the future? Like, that just don't make, I don't know. If that makes sense to you, then I don't know. Run the play, I know that. We're going to run the play. Learn, get better, move forward. Learn, get better, move forward. Coach, I screwed up. Learn, get better, move forward. Coach, I'm getting a divorce. Learn, get better, move forward. Coach, I failed. Learn, get better, move forward. That's all I'm going to tell you, beloved. I'm going to tell you that for the rest of your life. Learn, get better, move forward. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that matters. Learn, get better, Move forward and love yourself while you're doing it. Coach, I made the mistake. Are you loving yourself when you made the mistake? Coach, I'm getting divorced. Are you still loving yourself when you get the divorce? Coach, I failed. Are you still loving yourself when you fail? That's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the failure. I'm worried about that you stop loving yourself when you fail. I'm not worried about the mistake. I'm worried about that you stop loving yourself when you made the mistake. I'm not worried about the divorce, that you stop loving yourself when that person walked out of your life. Did the love walk out too? See, that's what God is paying attention to. He's not worried about how many times you fail. He's worried about how many times you stop loving yourself when you do. Learn, get better, move forward. Come on, T-Bids. We don't success our way to success. We fail our way to success. We mistake our way to success. Your last mistake was your best teacher, beloved. I need 100 more mistakes. I need to be making some mistakes right now so that I can learn from that. But I can't punish myself once I make the mistake. Nah, just here's my thing. Listen to what I'm saying to you, beloved. You don't have unconditional love for yourself if you make a mistake and then you stop loving you. You don't have unconditional love for yourself if you make the mistake and you stop showing up for you. You don't have unconditional love for yourself if somebody walks out of your life and the love walks out too. This is what I'm saying. Do you love yourself the most in the moments when life is not going according to your script? Because if you only love yourself when life is spinning, turning, and revolving in ways that you needed to, then you don't genuinely love yourself. And that's what God is worried about. He's not worried about the failures. He's not worried about the mistakes. He's not worried about how many times you fumbled yourself. What he's concerned about is, why does the love stop flowing in you when the mistake happens, when the failure happens, when the relationship ends? Why does the love end? Why does the love have to end because the relationship ended? Why does the love have to end because of the mistake was made? Why does the love have to end because of the failure that happened? That's all he's worried about. That's it. Dave, what's up, beloved? That's all he's saying, beloved. Hey, I'm not. He understands that you're doing life for the first time. We all doing life for the first time. Of course, you're gonna make mistakes. Of course, you're gonna fail. Of course, you're gonna tolerate some things that you shouldn't. Of course, you're gonna shrink yourself in certain moments. We get that part. You're doing life for the first time, beloved. You got to give yourself some grace. You got to give yourself some grace. The same grace you give that baby when you watching that new baby learn how to walk for the very first time. How do we give the baby grace, but we don't give grace to ourselves? Extend the same grace you would to that baby to yourself, because you need it more than the baby does. Because once we make a mistake, we'll punish ourselves for the rest of the day. Same grace. That's all God wants us to do, is stop turning the love off when life starts going according to your plans. Because that's unconditional love. That's genuine unconditional love. When I don't turn the love off, when life no longer is following my script. I appreciate that, beloved. Thank you. Come on, Rich, you got to let them know, beloved. Think about what I'm saying. If somebody walks out of your life and the love walks out too, where's the unconditional love? If somebody criticizes you and the love leaves in you, where's the unconditional love? If somebody judges you unfairly and all of a sudden you start punishing yourself because of what they said about you, where's the unconditional love? Trina, what's up, beloved? I want you to love yourself the most in the moments when life challenges you the most. That's when your love should be the most powerful. Anybody can love themselves when life is going the way you need it to. Can your love become the most powerful when that person walks out? Can your love become the most powerful when you fail? Can your love become the most powerful when you screw up and you make some mistake? Can it become powerful then? Because that's when you have true mastery. Do me a favor, real quick, you guys, and share or repost the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Please type me in the comments real quick if this is your very first time on a live stream with me. Type me if this is your very first time on a live stream with me. Welcome all first and last time listeners. Welcome Mindset Masters family. Welcome to the beginning of forever. Today is the best day in the world because it's the only one you have. Today is the best day in the world because it's the only one you have. Don't ruin the good today by focusing on a better tomorrow. Rich, you said you had the paradigm shift when you told yourself that? Yeah, Rich. Welcome our first and last time listeners. Again, my name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in self-awareness, self-mastery, relationship mastery, 5D consciousness, emotional intelligence. I specialize in helping my students and clients all over the world to become the greatest, strongest, and most powerful versions of themselves. My partners and I have created a brand, Mindset Masters, that has global impact. We are probably represented in almost every country on the planet. I am also the best-selling author of this book, The Secret of Awareness, How Powerful Are You Ready to Be? This book is a bestseller. It is a game changer. It is the instruction manual to who you are. You know, people will tell you that life does not come with an instruction manual. That's false. Life doesn't come with a blueprint. That's false. The blueprint to who you are is called self-awareness. It is the highest level of divine intelligence. It's more powerful than all forms of intelligence because it's the secret to who you are and to what you can do and who you can become. Right? That's what's important, especially when you start tapping into higher levels of consciousness and you really start to understand just how powerful you are when you can manifest the life that you want, when you can alchemize all negative situations, when you can take every single negative situation and transmute that energy, where you become emotionally bulletproof, where you're no longer impacted by what people think about you or what they say and their judgments or their criticism. You become immune to all of that stuff. Because you're going to start to understand that people speak from their wounds, they speak from their pain, they speak from their trauma. They don't speak from their wisdom. They don't speak from their strength. They're oftentimes, when a person's criticizing you, they're criticizing you from what they're carrying in that moment. That's the highest level of emotional intelligence. It doesn't require your reaction. Your reaction is your pain speaking for you. Your response is your awareness speaking for you. Choose one. Your reaction is your pain speaking for you. Your response is your awareness speaking for you. Choose one, because you can't do both. That part right there, T-Benz, that pause is what makes you powerful. Because people don't deserve a front row seat into who God is transforming you into. You don't owe people a reaction, beloved. No reaction is the most powerful reaction. Let me say that one more time. No reaction is the most powerful reaction on the planet. So when you come all unglued and when you let your ego convince you, I'm going to just tell you what you need to hear and I'm going to tell this person this, man, that's your pain talking. Because you're not in control of yourself in that moment. The person is. You have no control over yourself in that moment. The person has control over you. If I can say something to you and get you to come out of character, I control you. You don't. No reaction is the most powerful reaction on the planet. And I will tell you why. Because people don't get to know. They don't have the right to know. It's an honor to know when you piss me off. That's as private and as personal as your social security number. I'd rather hand you my social than to hand you my emotions. I can get the social thing figured out. Once you figure out my emotions and my triggers, you have full control over my inner kingdom. I don't give a damn about what somebody might take from me from a material perspective. You don't have the right to know. When you piss me off, that's private, that's personal information. God knows that information. That's it. I would rather hand you my social. I'd rather hand you my birthday. I'd rather hand you all of the PIN numbers and passcodes to all of my credit cards and all these other things like that than to let you know when you've triggered me. That's sacred information. People don't get the right to know that. I don't owe you a reaction. And my silence is more powerful than anything I can say to you in that moment. I said infinitely more powerful. See, because people are bracing themselves mentally and emotionally for your reaction. So no reaction is the most powerful reaction. Because now the person doesn't know how to deal with that. They're confused in that moment. I don't owe you anything. I'm not going, and I'm talking about no facial expression. My eyebrows won't go up, the face turn red, nothing. You get nothing. I do it all the time. I demonstrate that for you guys all the time. People come in here all the time, disrespectful, criticizing me, judging me, all these different things like that. You get no energy from me. Because anything I feed my energy to, I empower. What you give your attention to, you empower. What you react to, you become. So when you react to the negative energy, what you think gonna happen to you? When you react to the disrespect, what you think gonna happen to you? And here's the thing, the person's criticism doesn't belong to you. Their opinion doesn't belong to you. Their judgment doesn't belong to you. It was all created and generated by their mind. It ain't got nothing to do with you. I don't give a damn if they aimed it at you. It has nothing to do with you. No different when you walk up to a rose. When you walk up to a rose, you say, oh my God, this rose is the most beautiful rose I've ever seen. The rose don't give a damn about your opinion. It's not going to stop being what it is because you think it's pretty. The rose already knows what it is. Whether you think it's pretty or ugly, it doesn't care. Act like the rose. Because the version of you that needs to be liked by everyone is the enemy in your life. And then you step your emotional intelligence. See, this is not an awareness moment. This is an emotional intelligence moment. Because whatever that person is projecting onto you is the window into their wounds, not your worth. That's their pain talking. I don't need to react to their pain. But you don't have the right to know. When you have pissed me off, that's private. It's like that lion. That lion is just gonna look at you. He say, I guarantee you ain't gonna come over here and say it. You can do all that over there that you want to. You ain't gonna come over here and say it. All right, let's get busy, getting busy. Yeah, the version of you that needs to be liked by everyone, we need to get rid of that version of you immediately. That's the first version of you that needs to go. The version of you that needs to be liked by everyone and validated by everyone and to have everyone approve of your thoughts and approve of you and approve of, we got to get rid of that version of you quick. That was the first thing that I needed to get rid of. I tell you guys this all the time. Some of you guys need to start handing out some eviction notices. But the first eviction notice has to go to that version of you that needs to be liked by everyone. She's the enemy in your life. She's the first one she got to get up out of here quick. Because if you bow to praise, you'll be crushed by criticism. See, praise and criticism are opposite ends of the same stick. So if you're attracted to praise, that criticism gonna cut you like a knife. You got to get detached from all of that. You got to get detached from praise, and you have to get detached from criticism. You can't get one without and hang on to the other. And for some of you guys, see what happens is that when somebody praises you, you give yourself a positive stroke. When somebody praises you, you give yourself permission to feel good in that moment. It's what they said is not what made you feel good. What made you feel good is the meaning you assigned to what they said. And when you assign a meaning to that, you unlocked an emotion in yourself. So it wasn't what they said. But the same thing applies to the criticism. When the person criticizes you, their criticism is not what hurt you. What hurt you is the meaning you attach to it. Because we lack the emotional intelligence to understand that. No, you just get detached from both. Is it going to be easy? No. Is it going to be worth it? Hard? Yes. In 30 days, you can have it mastered. Start doing it today. Just get detached from praise. And that doesn't mean and I'm not telling you to make yourself cold. Just when people give you praise, just, oh, I appreciate that. When people criticize you, oh, I appreciate that. Same energy. I don't like you. I appreciate that. I love you. I appreciate that. All that belongs to you. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Your mind created that thought. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm telling you, 30 days, you'll have it mastered. But you got to start now. And you have to be very intentional about it. Just be very intentional about it. And then what's going to happen is that your brain will stop giving you reward systems or little reward gifts every time somebody praises you. And then when people criticize you, you're just going to be desensitized to it. And in that moment, that's how you really become emotionally bulletproof. Just give yourself, what do we say? It takes 21 days to form a habit, 90 days to build a new lifestyle. So you just, there you go. Jennifer, you're so welcome, beloved. All right, let's get busy. We late. Real quick before we take off, you guys, do me a favor and share the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Share or repost the live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Please. Stephanie, what's up, beloved? Lamika, I see you. Christian, I appreciate you, beloved. And let's get the likes up, you guys, so that we can get the medicine out to the world. What I'm noticing, you guys, yeah, it's another day. Yeah, the appetizers, yeah, we rock it. we rock it. And what's up, beloved? We rock it. Don't miss the message because you're too busy finding fault in the messenger. Red, I need you to write that down. Queen Ella, I need you to write that down. Lynetta, I need you to write that down. Don't miss the message because you are too busy finding fault in the messenger. Most people ask God for blessings, but they don't like the message that comes through the messenger. So they never receive the blessing. And here's the thing, God already knows what you reject. He knows your likes and your dislikes. So he's going to send you somebody that's out of alignment with what you think is good. And that person is going to be carrying the blessing that you need in that moment. And that's going to be it's a master class into a deeper understanding of you, because you're not supposed to reject anything, because anyone you're rejecting, you are rejecting him. So you're going to keep praying and keep praying and keep praying. Wonder why the blessing never came. He's like, I sent you the blessing. You rejected the messenger. The very person that was carrying the blessing that you needed, you rejected because they didn't look how you needed them to look. They weren't dressed how you wanted them to be dressed. They weren't the right complexion for you or right ethnicity for you. So you rejected the person. You scrolled past the person, but you went over there and watched all the TikTok dances. Don't miss the message because you are too busy finding fault in the messenger. It's mind-blowing how many people come into my live streams. Focus on me. Focus on finding fault with me. Finding fault with what's going on in the room and what's going on with this and what's going on with that. Man, you too focus on the wrong things. You majoring in minor things. Don't miss the message because you are too busy finding fault in the messenger. The messenger is never what's important. The message is. Again, many people miss God's blessings because they don't like the messenger that the message came through. When you reject the person, you reject God. This is why you never reject anything. This is why you don't renounce anything. Now, if you want to reject things, once you become the most powerful version of you, you got all the money you need and all the resources you need, and your family has everything they need. You got generational wealth. You want to start rejecting things, then go for it. But if you're not at where you need to be in life, you don't have the ability to reject things because you don't know who God's going to send to be that blessing for you. They might be white, black, orange, brown, pink, yellow. You don't know who the person's going to be. He's not going to give you some notification, let you know what the person is looking like. He's not Uber. He's not going to send you a notification telling you what type of car they're going to pull up in and what ethnicity the person going to be, if they're going to be a man or a woman and all these other things. Like, they ain't going to tell you all of that. We miss our blessings because we too focused on judging people, criticizing people, making assumptions about people, creating stories about people in our mind that's completely out of alignment with who the person really is. That's why we miss our blessings. That's why I don't judge people. I don't criticize people because I don't want people doing it to me. Siobhan, I see you, beloved. You know, like I told you guys the other day, I started something new where, you know, my free thought of the day. I know a lot of you guys aren't currently signed up for my free thought of the day. Siobhan, I appreciate you, beloved. So I want to go over my free thought of the day real quick because this thought of the day is so powerful. You know, and I only want to share the most powerful, ones. But let me just share this with you guys real quick. Your greatest obstacle to growth isn't a lack of information. I'm talking about this is what you're going to get when you sign up for my free thought of the day. This is how powerful the information is. I'm just going to show you how powerful it is. Your greatest obstacle to growth isn't a lack of information. That's not what's stopping you. Your greatest obstacle to growth is believing that you already know. That right there hurts us more than anything else. I meet people all the time. Are you self-aware? Yeah, I'm self-aware. And I know that they're not. But in that moment, because the ego never wants to be seen in the negative light, they're going to speak from their ego, and their ego's going to say, yes, I am, even though they're not. Have you mastered depression? Because if you haven't, you're not self-aware. Have you mastered anxiety? Because if you haven't, you're not self-aware. Have you mastered your shadow? Because if you haven't, you're not self-aware. Have you mastered your trauma? If you haven't, you're not self-aware. Do you understand the difference between your thoughts and your thinking? Do you understand the difference between a feeling and an emotion? Do you know why depression shows up? Do you know why fear shows up? Do you know what the difference is between your programming and conditioning? Do you know what role your ego plays in your life and when it came online? Do you know what role your shadow plays in your life and when it came online? Do you know the difference between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind? Do you know the difference between your soul and your spirit? Do you know the difference between... So when we sit here talking about self-awareness, and I fully understand that, what's more important, your spirit or your soul? What's more important, awareness or consciousness? What's more important? This is what I'm saying. And so when I'm talking to people and they're saying, oh yeah, I'm self-aware and I know this and I know that and all these other things like that. And I'm just thinking to myself, you're not. You don't know why depression comes online. You don't know why anxiety comes online. You don't know why fear comes online. You don't know why doubt comes online. You don't know how to heal yourself from your childhood trauma. You don't know what your past really is and what it symbolizes. You don't understand that there's no future or no past. People don't understand that. So you're not self-aware. That doesn't mean you can't become self-aware, but in that moment, you're not. But you think you are. What hurts you is what you think you know. Because the moment you think you know something, you're no longer looking for the answer because you think you're already in possession of it. Why would you seek what you already think you have? Why does love walk out? What triggers unhappiness? What has to happen in order for my spirit to come online? Why is my ego my greatest competition? What is that all about? Why is discipline spiritual? And what does God know about me that I don't currently know about myself that I need to be tapped into? Why do all of the people that come into my life, why do they enter my life? What are they coming to show me? Do you understand that everything is you pushed out? Do you understand that every person is your mirror? Do you understand that every relationship is a masterclass into a deeper understanding of who you are? Do you understand that pain is a gift? Do you understand that fear is a gift? Do you understand that depression is a gift? Anxiety is a gift. These things aren't your problems, they're your protectors. Because you're out of alignment. You're chasing things. You're attached to things. You're clinging to things. You're operating from lower mind, not higher mind. Do you understand the difference between that? That's awareness. And I could go on and on and on and on. Red, I know you got it, beloved. I know you got it. But I'm just saying, so many people don't. That doesn't make you a bad person. But it means that you're lacking the very thing that you need more than anything else. See, because in that moment, you have a God-sized void in you. When you don't understand everything that I've just highlighted, you have a God-sized void in you. You have a purpose-sized void in you. And you've been programmed and conditioned to try and fill that void with people. But people can never fill the void. Every time that void, the void happens when there's no one in your life. The relationship ends because of the void. Let me say that one more time. When you are single, the void comes. And in that moment, you start reaching for people. You think that the void means that it's time for you to go find someone to love or be in a relationship with. That's not what it means. The void means that your purpose is begging to come online. When you're in the relationship and you get past the honeymoon phase and all of the beautiful moments, and your pain shows up and your trauma shows up and your ego shows up and all of the unhealed versions of yourself show up, that's the void again. The person can't give you what's missing in you, but you punish them because they couldn't. I want out of the relationship, but you've been fighting to get out of the relationship with yourself. That's why you reach for people. That's why we reach for people. Because we're looking for things that people can't give us. But when you lack self-awareness, you don't understand that. So we punish people for what they could never give us. We punish people for what we fail to consistently give ourselves. The most powerful chosen ones have addictions, powerful addictions, powerful addictions. If you are fighting some powerful addiction right now and you're doing everything you can, you're doing everything I'm talking about, you've made promise after promise after promise after promise. I'm not going to do it again. This time going to be the last time. You're not failing, beloved. You're not losing. That's your curriculum. Because at some point in time, you will get on the other side of that. And when you get on the other side, I tell you guys this all the time, the size of your pain, the size of your trauma is equal to the size of the gift you carry. Your purpose is heavy, so your trauma's heavy. Your addiction is heavy. Your suffering is heavy. That's why. And you're going to get on the other side of that. Don't punish yourself because you're failing. Just keep getting back up. Learn, get better, move forward. You're only learning what's not working. At some point in time, you're going to learn what will. So if you're struggling with something, you're like, man, see, you got to understand that shame is a wound as well. Don't punish yourself. That shame that you feel in that moment when you violate the promise that you made to yourself, that shame that you feel, that guilt that you feel, that's a wound as well. Just say, I'm not going to give up on myself, and you keep moving forward. I'm not going to give up on myself. You keep moving forward. I'm not going to give up on myself. You keep moving forward. God sees your attempt. He's not worried about the outcome. He's focused on the attempt. He knows how sincere your heart is. Let me give it to you in a way I know you can't miss it. He knows that if he could give you a button to push, where you push this button, the whole addiction is out of your mind, it's out of your heart, it's out of your spirit, it's out of your energy. He knows you would push the button. He knows you would. He knows you would. That's what I'm saying. So every time that you attempt, he understands, and he knows you're going to eventually get it. But if he comes into your life, if he intervenes, then every single time he'll become your crutch. So you're fine. It was just like learning how to walk. You made mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake, attempt after attempt after attempt when you first learned how to walk. You didn't just master that. Same thing with this. At some point in time, you're going to figure out what you need to do. Every time you try, you're just figuring out what doesn't work. The problem is with your addiction, there's two versions of you. There's a version of you that wants to quit, and then there's the version of you that gets triggered when life doesn't go according to your script. And it's the version of you that gets triggered, that gets pulled back into that. The version of you that wants to quit is in a different energy at the time that you make that declaration. When you say, I'm no longer going to do this thing, you're operating in a different energy than the version of you that reaches for the thing. The version of you that reaches for the thing is actually the most powerful version of you, because that's the version of you that controls whether you're going to do it or not. And you're not in that same energy anymore. So the moment that you say, I'm not going to do that thing anymore, that energy that you're operating at a higher vibrational frequency. When you reach for the thing, you're operating at a lower vibrational frequency. So there's two versions of you operating at the same time. You've got to understand that, because you can't conquer what you don't understand. So the version of you that says, this is the last time, I'm not going to do it anymore. Okay, that energy that you're in is not the same energy when you reach for the thing. Two completely different energies. The person that cheats at the hotel and the person that says, I'm sorry, two completely different versions. Two completely different versions of the same person. Yeah, Ellie, you got it, beloved. So you just keep studying your awareness. You keep studying your awareness. And what's going to happen is, because this is exactly what happened with me. What happens is that, you're going to flood yourself, right, with so much awareness, so much self-mastery, so much consciousness. You just keep climbing up the mountain. Don't focus on what's attached to you as you're climbing up the mountain. Just keep climbing your mountain of awareness. And one day, that thing that you can't currently walk away from, you just won't have a desire for it anymore. You won't know what day it's going to come. There won't be an alert, won't be an alarm, won't be this, won't be that. You'll just one day, you just won't desire it anymore, and it'll be over with. But don't focus on the outcome. Don't focus on what day. Focus on your growth. Focus on your evolution. Focus on your awareness. Double down on your studying. Double down on your discipline. Double down on the self-love. Double down on the self-respect. Double down on believing in yourself. Double down on showing up for yourself. And don't punish yourself in the moments when you fall, when you backslide. Don't punish yourself in those moments. Whatever you do, always keep the love flowing through you. Even the version of you that reaches for the thing needs more love than the version of you that doesn't. The version of you that reaches for the thing needs more love than the version of you that doesn't. That part right there, Prashant. Joseph, what's up, beloved? Do me a favor real quick, you guys. That part right there, Rich, you summed it up. Thank you, beloved. You summed that up better than I ever could. And you love yourself through the rough times. You love yourself through the rough times. Everything is about how you communicate with yourself. That's why I say you don't turn the love off. You don't shame yourself. You don't get down on yourself. I'm always screwing up. Don't do any of that, because that's just taking your frequency right back down. You're just empowering the very thing that you're trying to overcome. No, you just love yourself through it all. I'm going to get through it. Learn, get better, move forward. Learn, get better, move forward. Right? All right. So anyone that's not currently signed up for my free thought of the day, type no in the comments real quick. That part right, ooh, Lynetta, that needs to be on a t-shirt right there, Lynetta. That needs to be on a t-shirt right now. Again, if you're not currently signed up for my free thought of the day, type no real quick. Trust me, you guys do not want to miss it. Okay, let me tell you guys how to get signed up real quick. The motivation behind the free thought of the day, just so you guys can understand, is that the world is filled with so much negativity. I don't have to tell you guys that to know that. You need something that's always pouring positivity in you. That's number one. So you wake up inspired every single day, because you're going to get it early that morning. Wake up inspired every single day. Wake up with purpose every single day. But most importantly, wake up to something that's designed to unlock your inner greatness. And why is this important? It's important because, every time you learn something new, you become someone new, because the arrangement of your mind changes. So what the information is going to do is going to change the arrangement of your mind. When it changes the arrangement of your mind, it changes your thoughts. When it changes your thoughts, that impacts your attitude. That impacts how you show up. That impacts how you see the world. And it's just a compounding effect from there. So what you guys are going to do is copy and paste that link that Tara has pinned right there. Copy and paste that link. Put it in your browser, and it'll take you to get signed up for the free thought of the day. Just do it right now real quick. And then you guys will be locked in and ready to go. Again, copy and paste that link. It'll take you to get the free thought of the day, and then you guys will be ready to go. But the free thought of the day is something that you don't want to miss. I absolutely love them. Copy and paste that link, put it inside your browser, and it will take you. It'll take you where you need to be. Keziah, what's up, beloved? It'll take you where you need to be. It will take you where you need to be. Mr. K and Pete, let's get it. Nah, you're so welcome, beloved. You're so welcome, Mr. K and Pete. You're so welcome. Yeah, it was. The thought of the day today was fire. Yeah, just. I'm telling you guys this, man, and it's not bumper sticker talk when I say that. Every time you learn something new, you become someone new. Meaning that you're not the version of yourself that you were before you came in contact with that information. That's what I mean when I say that. That version of you has been changed, and that's I wonder if you guys see what I'm saying. I wonder if you see it. I wonder if you see it. I wonder if you really see it. Snooky, what's up, beloved? May, think about what I'm saying. If everything, watch this, BH. If everything, okay, so every time I learn something new, I become someone new. I'm not the person, I'll give you a great example of what I'm saying. Who you were before you jumped on this live stream, that version of you is already over with. The version of you that you were 5 minutes before this live stream started, it's not just that version of you. Why? Because you've already consumed so much new information now. So the version of you that you are right now could go back in history, go back in time, and teach that version of you before you step into this live stream so many different things already. So I'm already changed. And that's what God is saying. He's saying, as you learn new information, as you consume new information, who you were before you consumed the information is not the same version that now carries the information. You've already changed. Okay, just keep moving forward. Just keep moving forward. Let that awareness outperform your trauma. Let the awareness outperform your pain. Let the awareness outperform the outdated versions of you. Let the awareness outperform everything. This is what he's saying. Just keep outperforming yourself. Keep outperforming yesterday's version of you. That's all you have to do. You don't have to do anything else because you're not the same person anymore because the arrangement of your mind has already changed. Your thoughts are already changing. Once that new information comes into your mind, it starts to merge with the old information. Now you're having different thoughts, different feelings, different emotions, different beliefs. Everything is changing. And so you just keep evolving, keep leaving the old you in the dust. And I don't mean that from a place of disrespect or rejection. No, I just don't want to be who I was 5 minutes ago anymore. I've already learned something new. I'm gone now. See, you got to look at the old version of you just like a mile marker. You know how you get on those road trips? And let's just say you got a 5-hour road trip or an 8-hour road trip, and you see the mile markers. Okay, well, you started out at mile marker number 1. But you at mile marker 200 now. You're not focused on mile marker number 1 anymore. Every single version of you is like one of those mile markers. So as you're learning new information, you keep evolving to a different mile marker. You're not that person anymore. We suffer because you go back identifying with the outdated version of you. That's where the suffering comes in at. That part right there, just to keep that part right there, beloved. Yeah, you just keep changing every day, Trina. You just keep changing every day, beloved. I just keep growing. I've grown so high, my pain can't reach me anymore. I've grown so much, fear can't reach me anymore. I've grown so much, my trauma can't reach me anymore. They just can't reach me anymore. Can't reach me anymore. Not because I'm, Yeah, Trina, I do, beloved. I do. I do. Let me say this to you guys. Yeah, and you don't ever, I don't give a damn what's going on. You don't ever punish the creator in you. That's all God is trying to wake us up to. He's saying, because your external reality is only the manifestation of your internal reality. That's all it is. So you don't need to be upset about your life. You need to change the mindset that created the life that you no longer love. That's how you master life. We sitting here fighting with life and fighting with people and arguing with this person and fight. I don't like my life, all this other stuff like that. But you won't change the mindset that created it. We're so busy trying to change the external. The external is not the problem. The external is the external is the outcome. You arguing with the outcome. The outcome is only the manifestation of the income. The toxic relationship is only the manifestation of you. That's all it is. It's your internal world made manifest so that you can see it in real time, because you can't see it internally, but you can see it in the relationship. No, you don't need to go to the therapist. The therapist, the relationship coach is not what you need. That relationship is your curriculum. The moment I stop settling for less than I deserve, the toxic relationship is over. The moment I stop walking on eggshells, the toxic relationship is over. The moment that I give myself 5-star love, 5-star respect, the toxic relationship is over. The moment that I start speaking my truth, the toxic relationship is over. I don't need to go to the therapist. I need to change me. I need to change the version of myself that's showing up in the relationship, because the relationship is reflecting me back to me. That's all it's doing. Your relationship counselor, relationship coach, relationship therapist cannot fix your internal problem. You don't need tricks and gadgets in your relationship. You need to change the version of yourself that's showing up in the relationship, and the relationship changes automatically. When you change you, you change the relationship. I don't need to sit and journal anything. That's all wasted energy. That's programming somebody giving you. That's game somebody giving you. Somebody running game on you. Got y'all journaling your feelings and journaling this. No, you need to change the mindset and change the version of you that's showing up in that relationship. Period. Relationship changes when you stop accepting less than you deserve. Relationship changes when you stop tolerating things that you shouldn't. Relationship changes when you start speaking your truth. Relationship changes when you start saying yes to things, when you start saying no to things that you've been saying yes to. Instantly, it's fixed. Instantly, I said. No wind up, no build up. It didn't cost you any money. Cookie, what's up, beloved? I'm talking about instantaneously. Relationship over. Toxic relationship over. So, same day. I'm gonna tell you why we don't do it. I'm gonna tell you why you don't do it. Because you place greater value on the relationship than you place on yourself. You place greater value on the relationship than you place on yourself. You place greater value on the person than you place on yourself. You place greater value on the person than you place on yourself. That's the real problem. You don't want to lose a person. You don't have no problem losing yourself, because you used to abandoning yourself. You used to not keeping your word for yourself. You used to not showing up for you. You used to not loving you unconditionally. You used to all of that. And so because you're used to it, you won't mind when somebody else does it. Whatever you fail to give yourself, you won't mind when someone else does it. That's the real problem. The relationship is just a reflection of the value that you don't place on yourself. That's all it is. That's all it is. Monica, what's up, beloved? That part, what you just said, Monica said that the truth hurts. You know, and for some people it does, but it's the only thing that can transform you. The only thing that will transform you is the truth. You know, the truth will transform you. Transparency will transform you. Radical acceptance will transform you. Honesty will transform you. You know, but when the truth bumps up against your illusions and your fantasies and the reality of the situation, that's what hurts you. The truth is going to transform you, but your illusions are what's hurting you, because they're attached to a version of yourself that's being projected in that particular relationship. All right, let's get busy getting busy. Yeah, transparency is the most powerful thing in your relationship, and that's what's missing in most people's relationship is transparency. All right, let's go. Yeah, truth is the only thing that can transform you, nothing else. This is why awareness starts with truth. You know, people think that awareness starts with the truth. Healing starts with the truth. Healing starts the moment you stop hiding from the truth. That's step one. Let me say this to you guys. Don't hang on to the metaphors too tight, because if you do, you'll miss the point. You cannot yell at the butterfly for the things that the caterpillar has done. That's his words. One more time. Don't hang on to the metaphor too tight, because if you do, you miss the point. You cannot yell at the butterfly for the things that the caterpillar has done. That's where all your suffering is coming from. And you cannot scream at the caterpillar for the things that the butterfly will do in the future. Yes, both creatures are the same, but you're experiencing them at completely different levels of consciousness, which is why it's critically important to not identify with your past. Some of you guys are suffering because the butterfly version of you, which is who you are in this moment, you still tripping off what happened to the caterpillar. The butterfly version of you is still attached to what happened to the caterpillar, never realizing and understanding that what happened to the caterpillar is why you are the butterfly right now. It's why you have awareness. It's why you have the emotional intelligence. It's why you have self-mastery. It's why your journey, it's why God has you on the path to become the most powerful version of yourself. But you can't be the butterfly and still carry the caterpillar's pain. You can't be the butterfly and still carry the caterpillar's mindset, the caterpillar's trauma. That's what's hurting you. You cannot yell at the butterfly for the mistakes that the caterpillar made. That's where all your suffering is coming from. God has transformed you. For some of you guys that have been with me for at least a year, he's transformed you into the butterfly version of you, but you still tripping on the caterpillar's problems, the caterpillar's mistake, the caterpillar's past. You're not the caterpillar anymore, beloved. Wake up. This is why you don't focus on your past. This caterpillar had to make certain moves. There were certain things that needed to happen so that you could become the butterfly. God is like, damn, what you want? You want to be the butterfly, but you tripping on the caterpillar's problems. You want to be the butterfly, but you tripping on the caterpillar trauma. You want to be the butterfly, but you tripping on the caterpillar's pain. But you can't get both. Can't have it both ways. You understand what I'm saying? Okay, the caterpillar then went through some stuff. That's how you became the butterfly. The caterpillar had to experience pain. That's how you became the butterfly. The caterpillar went through trauma. That's how you became the butterfly. You're not the caterpillar anymore. Stop carrying the caterpillar's mindset. Stop carrying the caterpillar's pain. Stop carrying what the caterpillar had to go through so that you can become the butterfly version of you. All you should be tripping on right now is God has put you in a position to become the butterfly. You flying so high right now that you can help other people with their pain. That's all that matters. What you tripping on? Yesterday's version of you, the caterpillar version of you, what you had to go through to get here, the fact that you're here. He's putting you in a position to learn information that only the top 1% has learned. Historically speaking, top 1%. It's the only thing that matters. It's the only thing that matters. Everything else is irrelevant. I don't give a damn about what the caterpillar version of me had to go through. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Marathon man, I see you. Nah, Cookie, it's like super irrelevant. But For some, it is, but for some people, I try to, we talk in words, but we think in pictures. So I try to paint certain portraits in your mind so that we can see how crazy it is to focus on certain things, because that's really what's hurting you. What's really hurting 9 out of 10 people today is that they're in a position to be the butterfly version of themselves, but they're still carrying the caterpillar's pain, the caterpillar's trauma, the caterpillar's mindset, all of these other things like that. And so it's okay. Well, where's your awareness? Why isn't your awareness online? Why is it? Are you pretending to be self-aware, or are you really self-aware? Because if you're really self-aware, you're not caught up on what the caterpillar had to go through so that you can become the butterfly version of yourself. You're just not tripping on that. Alana, what's up, beloved? You're just not tripping on that. Roy, I see you, beloved. See, for some people, self-awareness is only on you. It's not in you yet. And that doesn't make you a bad person. But it's only on you, and it's only on you because there's still something, there's still something that your old identity carries. You're still benefiting from who you used to be before you stepped into awareness. There's something that version of you does that's still benefiting. That's why you haven't fully surrendered. So the awareness is on you. It's not in you. You haven't become awareness yet. You practice it. You haven't become it. Everything changes when you become it. When you walk, talk, act, breathe, awareness. Because awareness is what you are. When you're not awareness, you're like a fish out of water. You're operating outside of your nature. You're operating from your programming. You're operating from your conditioning. You're operating from your ego. You're operating from your persona, which is the social mask you wear so that you can be accepted by other people. You're operating from lower mind, and you're attracting toxic people in your life and all these other things, settling for less than you deserve. You haven't stepped into your purpose, haven't stepped into your calling. That's the problem. Let me say this to you. Red, I see you, beloved. I'm telling you, that's what's hurting people, man. It's just, it's not in you yet. It's on you. And hopefully at some point in time you make that shift, or you make that surrender. You have to surrender. Surrender is everything, but surrender doesn't mean what you give up. So, like I said again, there's something that the old version of you, you're still benefiting from that version of you somehow, some way. Something that version of you does when no one else is watching that you don't want to let go of yet. But that's why you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay stuck on the level you are on right now. You're not going to climb any higher. You're going to be able to stack awareness on top of the outdated version of yourself. That's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to have all this powerful information piled on top of an outdated version of yourself. And then you're going to be thinking that something is wrong with the awareness, something is wrong with this, something is wrong with that. No, something is wrong with what you won't walk away from. See, because anything that you won't walk away from is your God. Anything you won't walk away from right now is what you bow to. Because that thing has just as much power over you as God does. You won't walk away from him, and you won't walk away from the thing. So who has the power? Because that's what he's looking at. He's saying, you won't walk away from me. Okay, check. But you also won't walk away from the thing. So who you serving? Who are you really serving? Because you don't love me enough to walk away from it. So who are you really serving? Yeah, you can't serve two masters. And he's not going to force you to walk away from the thing. But you know he's there. And he's the reason why you're here. But your flesh has become attached to something that's keeping your spirit from becoming released. That's the problem. Now, your anxiety is an alarm, beloved. It's not a problem. Yeah, anxiety is an alarm. It's not the problem. Your anxiety is just an alignment issue. It's not even an issue. It just means you out of alignment. Um, you're experiencing anxiety because you still haven't awakened as of yet. So it's not even that will take care of itself. Certain things, because anxiety is your ally, it's not your enemy. That's the first thing that we need to understand about. You've been programmed and conditioned to look at your anxiety as the enemy, as something that you need to get rid of. Anxiety is like the smoke alarm in your house. Think about what I'm saying. When the smoke alarm goes off in your house, it's going off in your house to protect you from something. It's saying there's something happening that you may not see that I'm aware of right now. Okay, well, that's what your anxiety is saying. Anxiety is saying you step outside of the present moment and you're focusing on some future problem. You're focusing on something that you really don't have control over. Because if you had control over, you would just take care of the thing. If it was something that was in your control, you would just take care of the thing. Anxiety is coming because you're focusing on things that are out of your control. And that's when you lose power. You never focus on things that you can't control because that's what produces your suffering. Anxiety is your alarm. It's not the problem. So if I were to come to your house and your smoke alarm is going off, you're like, Coach, we need to get rid of the smoke alarm. I'm gonna say, no, we need to go figure out where the fire is. And that's what anxiety is telling you. It's saying you're out of alignment with your highest and best self. You're out of alignment with your divine essence. You're out of alignment with God right now. You're out of alignment with this moment right now. There's a fire. Because how can you master this moment if you're focused on a future moment? How can you be powerful in this moment if you're focused on the next moment? You losing power all over the place because you ain't gonna control that moment and you're not controlling the one that you're standing in. So you leaking power everywhere. That's what anxiety is coming to tell you. You are leaking power by the second. I tell you guys this all the time. You don't ruin a good today by focusing on your yesterday. Or by focusing on your tomorrow. All right, let's get busy. Man, I got to get into this live. Yeah, never identify with it. Never identify with it. It's 3-step mastery. Get in touch with the negative feeling. Why? Because the negative feeling is in you. That's number one, right? Get in touch with the negative feeling. Most people are depressed and they don't realize that they're depressed. So you get in touch with the negative feeling. Step 2, understand that the feeling is in you. It's not outside of you. It has nothing to do with what's going on outside of you. The feeling is in you. There's some problem that you're trying to solve that you don't have control over. Step 3, you never identify with the feeling, right? Because the feeling isn't you. The feeling is coming, it's data. There's something that it needs you to know in that moment that you're blind to, you're not paying attention to. It's no different than driving your car. Right? When you drive in your car, and if you keep looking in the rearview mirror and you're not paying attention to where you're going, well, that car's going to start to veer off the road. Where there are things on the side of that road that will alert you before you actually go off the side of the road. Like you hit those ridges on the side to let you know you veered off. That's what anxiety is. It's letting you know you're veering off the road here. Right? You're veering off the road. And you're creating your own suffering at the same time. Yeah, great call out, beloved. Great call out. Let me say this to you guys. Hate doesn't come when you're irrelevant. I'm talking to all chosen ones right now. Hate doesn't come when you're irrelevant. If nobody's hating on you right now, you're not doing enough. Hate comes the moment that you start showing up for yourself. Hate comes the moment that you start becoming someone. Hate comes the moment you start growing. Hate comes the moment you start winning. It's coming. Let me give you that news flash now. It's coming. Coach, they hating on me. You doing something right. That's why. See, hate comes the moment that you're doing something that other people are too afraid to do. Oh, they can't stand you for that. When you are doing something that other people are afraid to do, are they gonna hate you like for that? Because people don't get triggered by your mistakes. Think about what I'm saying. There has not been a person in the history of your life that has ever gotten triggered by your mistakes. You can sit and talk about how much you failed all day long. You ain't gonna trigger a single person. I'm talking about you can walk into a grocery store right now, packed with people, and start talking about how much you failed in life, and you ain't gonna trigger a single person. Walk into that same grocery store 10 minutes later and talk about how you winning, and all of a sudden people gonna tell you you need to be humble, you need to pipe it down. I thought you were a Christian. But why you didn't say that when I was telling you about all my problems? Why you didn't say that when I was telling you about all my mistakes? Because your greatness triggers their mediocrity. Who you have become is a window into what they have settled for. They got nothing to do with you. It's not like you being intentional. It's not bragging if it's true. I tell people this all the time. It's not bragging if it's true. If you're winning in life, you're winning in life. Beloved, Dad, what you want me to do? I'm winning. I've become powerful. God is shining on me. He's moving all through my life. If I'm telling you about that, and you like, oh, he bragged too much, he this or that. No, that's your wounds talking. That's your pain talking. Because if I sat here for an hour and talked to you guys about all of the failures and mistakes, you wouldn't have said a word. The moment somebody start talking about how you winning in life, just watch what people do. Just watch what they do. So one more time, hate doesn't come when you're irrelevant, beloved. Hate comes the moment that you start showing up for yourself. The moment you start speaking your truth. The moment you got boundaries. The moment that you're not showing up small anymore. The moment that you don't tolerate the disrespect, all of a sudden, oh, you acting funny now. You acting different now. Hell yeah. You right, I'm acting different. See, the only people that will be upset about you having boundaries were the people that were benefiting from you not having any. That's the only people. The only person that's going to get upset about you having boundaries are the people that were benefiting from you not having any. People don't get triggered by your mistakes, beloved. They get triggered by your progress. They get triggered by your greatness. They get triggered when you level up faster than they expected you to. Put your foot on the gas. Put your foot on the gas. Don't show up small. Speak your truth. Say what you need to say with your whole chest. Let your greatness be on display, because you're disrespecting God if you don't. You disrespecting God if you don't. Everything you've been praying for, he tried to give you, but you turning it down around this person, and turning it down around that person, and showing up small over here, and you ain't saying what need to be said even though you feeling it. Man, put your foot on their throat. If you can't handle my greatness, then you don't need to be in the same room with me. Don't turn nothing down but your collar. That's what I'm saying to you. And anybody that can't, because when you're around me, I need you to shine. I need you to tell me about how you went in it. Tell me about what you did, and tell me what book you read today and how hard you worked out. And coach, I got this muscle, and coach, I did that over there. And you're going to inspire and motivate me. because I'm healed. It's only the people that's not healed, beloved, that's going to feel some type of way. I'm telling you now. Because you're triggering all my pain. You're triggering my mediocrity. You're triggering what I settle for. You're triggering the discipline I don't have. You're triggering the consistency that I don't have. You're triggering all of the things, but you're not doing it intentionally. You're not, it ain't like you walked in with some agenda. You're just telling me about what you're doing. No, put your foot on their throat. We get one shot at this thing called life. We ain't gonna fumble this one. We might have fumbled the third quarter, fumbled the second quarter. We in the fourth quarter. We ain't fumbling the fourth. No more fumbling. Put your foot on their throat, and everything else is data. And just watch. Just watch people. Just watch it. Just watch what they do. Because the moment you, oh, coach, I read this book. Okay, tell me where I can get it. Coach, I saw this over here. Okay, tell me where I can get it. Ooh, coach, I learned this through that. Tell me where. I'm so happy about what you're doing because I can do it too. Because I'm healed. So when you winning, I'm winning. You need people around you, beloved, that celebrate your wins. That pick you up when you lose and dust you off and then celebrate your wins. Got time for all these people, all this secret hating going on, all this other stuff, secretly competing against you behind your back, all this other stuff. Like, we ain't got time for that. I'm telling you now, some of you guys might have some people around you that don't want to see you at the top. You trying to pull people to the top with you that don't want to see you there. Nah, we got to get rid of all them people. Lynn, I see you, beloved. Yeah, we going anyway. I'm gonna tell you that now. We got this whole new sheriff in town. We going anyway. We moving as a family. We moving as a team. We going anyway. We gonna get there. Guaranteed. We gonna get there. I don't know who else gonna be there. And that's why I say, man, you got to focus on you until the focus is you. You have to focus on you until the focus is you. Whatever's showing up in your life right now, beloved, that's the curriculum. That's what God wants you to master. What stands in the way becomes the way. What's in your path is the path. What's standing in front of you right now, that thing that whether it's your physical body, okay, we need to change that. It's your mindset, okay, we need to change that. It's something that's showing up in the relationship that you don't like. Okay, we need to change that. Your life is a masterclass. In this moment, there's something there that's your curriculum, and that's what God wants you to focus on. Focus on what's in front of you, not what's behind you, not what's coming in the future. What's the curriculum right now? If you overweight, that's okay, beloved. That's the curriculum. If your diet isn't the best you can be, okay, beloved, that's the curriculum. If the relationship has become toxic because maybe you wasn't watching the relationship like you should have, that's okay. Because you've been grinding at work, that's okay. That's the curriculum. This is what we need to focus on, because if we don't change what's happening in front of you, we can't change your tomorrow. See, if we don't master today, if we don't master your here, we'll never be able to master your there. You afraid to go live? That's your curriculum. You afraid to shoot content? That's your curriculum. You afraid to speak your truth? That's your curriculum. You afraid to become a public speaker? That's your curriculum. Whatever you're afraid to do, that's your curriculum. Whatever area of your life you are settling, that's your curriculum. And I'm gonna tell you what's crazy. The thing that bothers you or the thing that's slowing you down, I might have mastery over. And the thing that I've struggled with might not be a problem for you at all. And so that's why I say, having those synergistic relationships with people and building different people, connecting with different people in our community to say, hey, man, I'm struggling with this. Who's got mastery over this? Who's not struggling with this particular problem? That you can shed some light on me to help me get past this particular thing. That's what it's all about. I got plenty of weaknesses. Loving myself isn't one of them. I've got plenty of weaknesses. Respecting myself isn't one of them. I've got plenty of weaknesses. Not speaking my truth isn't one of them. I've got plenty of weaknesses. Showing up small isn't one of them. It's okay to have weaknesses, beloved, but there's certain weaknesses that you can't have. Showing up small can't be one of the weaknesses. Procrastinating can't be one of the weaknesses. Not speaking your truth can't be one of the weaknesses. Bowing to fear can't be one of the weaknesses. You can have all the weaknesses that you want. You just can't have the ones that I just highlighted. Because you ain't going to ever become powerful if you do. Tolerating disrespect, you can't have that. I don't know how to cook, coach. Wonderful. Coach, I can't change a tire. Wonderful. Coach, I don't know how to swim. Wonderful. Coach, I don't know how to write a book. Wonderful. We can get past all the things. There's certain things that we can't know. There's certain weaknesses that you can have, and then there's certain weaknesses that you can't. I'm telling you right now, coach, I don't know how to cook. Don't worry about it, baby. Coach, I don't know how to change the tire. Don't worry about it, baby. Coach, I don't know how to swim. We'll go hire a lifeguard. Coach, I don't know how to, fix a flat tire. Don't worry about it. Coach, I don't know how to work out. Don't worry about it. We ain't worried about none of those things. Tolerating disrespect, we got to change that. Showing up small in your own life, we got to change that. Allowing a person to show you twice what they've already shown you once, we got to change that. Procrastinating, you got to change that. Making excuses, you got to change that. Transforming into a different version of yourself in the dark when no one else is watching, we have to change that. Not investing in yourself, we have to change that. Not believing in yourself, we have to change that. There's certain things that we can get to later. We got plenty of things we can get to later. I understand you. We ain't trying to be perfect. God is perfect. We don't have to be perfect, but you are the perfect representation of what he created you to be. That part you stand on. You are the perfect representation of what he created you to be. It's just like that tree. That tree is perfect because it's the perfect representation of what he created it to be. The ocean is perfect because it's the perfect representation of what he created it to be. And so are you. Now, your thinking can be out of alignment at times. Your programming and conditioning can be out of alignment at times. Sometimes your ego may hold the steering wheel of who you are. We get that part. But in this moment, as you are currently constructed, you are the perfect representation of what he created you to be. And once your awareness and your mastery and your consciousness and emotional intelligence and everything is online, the masterpiece that he created, your mindset becomes the masterpiece as well. And that's when life everything gets different. Everything becomes different. That part right there, that part right there, you the one thing you can't lose is you. How we fumble you? Holding on to somebody else, chasing somebody else. I tell you that all the time. When you chase love, you abandon yourself. When you chase happiness, you abandon yourself because you leave in the very place where you're going to experience it. I wonder how many people fully understand that. Yana, what's up, beloved? I wonder how many people fully understand that. Kev, what's up, beloved? Tracy, I see you. Yeah, what I'm saying is, when you chase love, you abandon yourself. When you chase happiness, you abandon yourself. When you chase people, you abandon yourself. Because all of those things can only come from you. So the moment that I leave, the moment that I reach for something else, I just disconnected myself from the source of the very thing that I was reaching for. I can only experience love in me. I can only experience happiness in me. The feeling that's going to come from me adding someone from my life will be created and generated by me, not by the person, but by the meaning I assign to them, by the story I create about them, by the version of them that will only live in my mind, that will never live in reality. That's what hurts us. We create versions of people in our minds that don't match who they are in reality, because the version of them that you create in your mind is predicated on your needs. It's predicated on your desires. It's predicated on your wants and what's missing in you. And then you construct a version of that person in your mind that doesn't match the version of them that's showing up in your life. And that's why when relationships start to fall apart, we try to get that person to match the version of them that only lives in our mind, but they can't do that, beloved. There's who they are in reality, and then there's the version of them that you've created in your mind, and the two never match. And that's oftentimes why this is why I tell people say this all the time. You have to stop seeing people as you are, and you have to start seeing them as they are, or you'll never see the person. You'll never see the person. The person's patterns have been showing you who they are the entire time. The patterns were right there in front of you. But we ignore the patterns. Why? Because they don't match our needs. We ignore the patterns because they don't match our wants and desires. That's why we ignore them. And then at some point in time, you're going to get so sick and tired of being sick and tired that the illusion gets shattered. And that'll be the very first time that you see the real them. And now you want out of the relationship. See, we're so blinded by our desires and our wants and our needs and what's missing from us internally that we blind ourselves to the red flags. We blind ourselves to the inconsistencies. We blind ourselves because in your mind, your ego has convinced you that you can change the person. That's why you do it. You do it. Let me tell you why you don't hit panic mode. You don't hit panic mode in the relationship because your ego is so powerful that it had convinced you that you could change the person. You genuinely believed, that was an actual belief, that you could change that person to be what you needed them to be. So you weren't in a relationship with the person, you were in a relationship with your concept of them. You weren't dating them, you were dating their potential. I tell you guys this all the time. We don't date people, we date our expectations of those people. And once they don't live up to our expectations, then we get rid of the person. Rocco, what's up, beloved? See, I tell you guys this all the time. The love of your life is the fully healed version of you. Nobody has the power to love you more than you love yourself. Even though we put that responsibility on other people, people don't have that kind of power, beloved. Nobody can love you the way God created you to love yourself. And you don't love yourself the way that you need to because your pain is still online. Your trauma is still online. These things are the obstruction, right? So you have obstructions in you. That's the reason why you can't do it. There are moments and flashes when you love yourself unconditionally, but there are more moments and flashes when you don't. And that's what healing is going to do. It's just going to remove the obstructions. That's all it's going to do. It's not anything fancy. It's going to remove the obstructions that's going to allow the flow of unconditional love to come through you. Once that happens, you no longer reach for people. People will start reaching for you. Yeah, you are the love of your life. You the thing you've been looking for your entire life. You've just been looking for it in other people. I wonder how many people really understand that. When you say, what do you mean? You say when you know? Give me some context on that, beloved. Yeah, what specifically would you like me to? I freestyle, beloved. So I say things sometimes, and I couldn't tell you what I said 5 seconds ago. Queen Ella, you said you finally get it. Yeah, you the love of your life because you the only love you experience. Let me say that one more time. You are the love of your life because you are the only love you experience. One more time. You are the love of your life because you are the only love you will ever experience. There's only one love, beloved. There's not multiple versions of love. There's only one love. You come from that. So you don't need to experience anyone else's love, and you never experience anyone else's love because there's only divine love. When you are loving yourself, you're experiencing God through you. That's why it's so powerful. That's why you chase it. Because when you experience love, you're experiencing Him. That's the part that people don't understand. That's why love will make you hurt somebody. That's why it will make you hurt somebody because it's the most powerful force on the planet. When you are experiencing love, you're experiencing Him. And when you show love to other people, you're giving them Him through you. That's why I can't wait for you guys to get fully locked in on your awareness because you're going to understand that. There's a reason why that love will sent you crazy. Some of you guys have been in a relationship where you damn near lost your mind. I wasn't even there, and I can tell you because we've all been there at least one time. Rocco, I see you, beloved. Thank you. We've all been in a relationship at least one time, where you were with a person and that love was so powerful, you damn near lost your mind behind it. You transformed into a version of yourself that you had never been in the history of your life. You were doing things that you ain't never done before for no one else. We've all had that one person where you did things for that person and with that person that you have never done with anyone else in the history of your life. What made that love so powerful is you were experiencing the love that you were experiencing. God is the love that you experience. You don't experience anything else. You only experience Him. So because you didn't have your awareness online, you associated the love with the person. That's what made you so crazy. You associated it with them. Had nothing to do with them, but they were the object or the mechanism that gave you permission to unlock it. They gave you permission to unlock it. The same way that when you get a promotion at work, the promotion gives you permission to unlock a feeling that was already in you. If I hand you $10,000, the money doesn't come with the emotions. The money gives you permission to unlock the feeling of security, to unlock the feeling of confidence, to unlock the feeling of abundance. But the money has it has no power. Its power comes from the meaning you assign to it. So you unlock the things in you. So every person that enters your life gives you permission to unlock things. That's why certain people come in your life. That's why that one person came in. And when that one person came in, that love was so powerful. Yeah, there's been other people that have come in your life, but you assigned different meaning to them. You created a different story about them. You were a different version of yourself in the presence of that person. That's why the love wasn't as powerful, because the meaning wasn't as powerful. Pastor Tony, what's up, beloved? That's what should make you, that right there should wake you up, because when you're experiencing love, you're experiencing Him. That's why it's beautiful. That's why it's warm. That's why it's abundant. That's why it's the best feeling in the world, because you're experiencing Him. And I'm going to tell you what's crazy. You can't see it. Happiness, you can't see it. Love, you can't see it. Consciousness, you can't see it. Self-awareness, you can't see it. Emotional intelligence, you can't see it. Joy, you can't see it. You can only assign it. You can only experience it through the meaning you assign to something, but you can't see it, but you feel it. You feel it. See, the most powerful things in the world are actually not things at all. They're not things. But here's what's crazy. We attach them to things. We attach love to things. We attach joy to things. We attach happiness to things outside of us. But these are not things that can come from anything outside of you. These are things that you already have in you. They can only be unlocked in you. Nothing outside of you. The things outside of you only give you permission to unlock them. That's why you need the things outside of you. That's what your external reality is doing. It's training you. God's teaching you on how to unlock you through the things that are happening outside of you. So you unlock the depression, you unlock the anxiety, you unlock the fear, you unlock the doubt, you unlock the anything. And what awareness is going to take you to is where you stop unlocking the negative and you only unlock the positive. That's when you get into your 5D consciousness. See, some of you guys, let me give it to you the way I know you can't miss it. Some of you guys, think about martial arts. Right, when you step out in martial arts, you learning your kicks and you learning the punches and you learning different things like that, but you really don't have mastery over it yet. So if you get in a fight with somebody, you might revert back into the old version of yourself because you don't have mastery over it yet. But your martial arts instructor has mastery. He's going to always go to that karate, always go to his kicks, always go to his training. But the student might revert back into who they used to be until they train and they train and they train and they train and they train. And at some point in time, there's more training in them than the outdated version of themselves. And that's what awareness is doing. It's putting more training in you. God's putting more training in you through emotional intelligence and self-mastery and self-awareness and all of these other things like that, to where you no longer go back to who you used to be. We talk about this all the time. Reality will present you with certain people, places, and things to reveal where you're not free, to reveal where the old version of you still shows up, not your awareness. Doesn't make you a bad person, doesn't make you a failure. You're just reverting back to what you've always known. But at some point in time, you'll stop reverting back to what you've already known and you'll start reacting from your awareness. You'll react from consciousness. And in that moment, it's game over. Does that make sense? Iris, I see you, beloved. So just look at yourself like martial arts training. Because if you've been in martial arts training for like 6 months, you still might revert back. Yeah, you didn't learn the kicks, and you didn't learn the punches, but you ain't like your master yet. Right? You're not like him yet. You still got some old you in you. And so what awareness is doing, it's just like that. It's like martial arts training. If you can understand the martial arts concept that I'm sharing with you, you'll understand that's how it works. But at some point in time, you're going to get so good at that martial arts that only that will emerge when something brushes up against you. See, we talk about this all the time. If I squeeze an orange, I only get orange juice. If I squeeze an apple, I'll only get apple juice. But when reality squeezes you, what comes out? Does your pain come out? Does your trauma come out? Does your ego come out? Or does your awareness? At some point in time, you're going to get so good that when reality squeezes you, the only thing that comes out of you is awareness, emotional intelligence, self-mastery, consciousness. When you squeeze an orange, the only thing you will get is orange juice. You won't get apple juice. You won't get any other juice. But when reality squeezes you, what comes out? And so some of you guys are getting squeezed, by life and squeezed by the job and squeezed by certain people's criticisms and squeezed by their judgments. And that's okay. Because again, at some point in time, your awareness is going to take over and reality won't be able to squeeze you anymore. That part right there, Lynetta, there's going to be that part right there, beloved. That was beautiful. Because at some point in time, when reality squeezes you, the only thing that's going to come out of you is the unconditional love. Because you're going to understand that the person that's trying to squeeze you is in pain at that time, and you just won't give it your energy or attention. What's up, beloved? You said being squeezed is painful. It is, but being squeezed is important because being squeezed is how you get your training. If I don't get squeezed, how will I know if the outdated version of me is still online? So you need to get squeezed, right? We need to get squeezed by life, by reality, by our problems, by our circumstances, by the outdated versions of ourselves. We need to get squeezed because if you don't get squeezed, how you gonna know what's gonna come out? So the squeezing is a blessing. Look at it as a blessing. And say that to yourself. You ain't got to say it to nobody in the car. I just got squeezed. And the old version of me showed up. I just got squeezed when that person judged me. And the old version of me showed up. I just got squeezed in that traffic accident. And the old version of me showed up. Now, don't punish yourself. Don't punish yourself because your awareness didn't come out. The fact that you caught it is enough. There was a time you wouldn't even have the intelligence to catch it. Kaya, what's up, beloved? Does that make sense? I'll show you, beloved. Do me a favor, you guys, share or repost a live to your stories if you haven't already done so. Please be. So you need this. The squeezing is a blessing. I can make the. You need it. Matter of fact, you need to get squeezed as much as possible. You need to get squeezed as much as possible because that's going to give you more moments and more opportunities to catch yourself. Just the fact that you catch yourself is a blessing because there was a time when you didn't have the awareness to do it. You're like, you know what? I showed up small there. You know what? I tolerated something. You know what? I felt something and I said something, but I didn't really say what I wanted to say. Okay, you got squeezed in that moment. But the old you showed up. And what do we say? Learn, get better, move forward. Learn, get better, move forward. No punishment, no judgment. Learn, get better, move forward. No judgment. No criticism, no condemnation. That part right there, Rich. I get squeezed all the time. Y'all see it. I get squeezed all the time. You guys see it. Y'all see people coming at me. They call me everything but a child of God on this platform. You guys see it. You guys get to see it in real time. So it ain't like I'm just on here just telling y'all to go do something that you don't see me doing. You see me every day. You see it. Sefe, you've been with me so long. Lynetta, you've been with me so long. You guys know how people come at me. So God is giving you an example in real time to really see what that looks like. Because sometimes people say some things on me. Sometimes people call me things on here that I've never been called in life. I'm just going to be completely honest with you. I get called things on this platform by people that I don't know that I have never been called in the history of my life. Not one time. Mr. Unity, what's up, beloved? It's crazy. But you know what God is saying? Kaya, I'm telling you, beloved, you know what God is saying? Let me tell you what he's saying. You asked for it. You asked for it. You asked for it. You asked to become emotionally bulletproof. Okay, I'm sending people at you. Don't be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you pray for. You pray for discernment. Get prepared for all these toxic people to start coming your way. Be careful what you pray for. You ask for wisdom. Be prepared for all of the moments that show up in life. You got all these low vibrational people coming and all these other things like that. Be careful what you pray for. Because whatever you pray for, he's going to first send you the opposite of that. So if I'm asking to become, but that's the part that we don't read the fine print in the prayer. That's the part that we don't pay attention to. That's the part that we don't pay attention to. See, you asking for patience. Okay, so when that person walks in your house and they accidentally tip over something and break your favorite vase or knock the paint down or whatever the case may be, that's the time to exercise your patience. That's the time to exercise your patience right then and there. Put your patience on display. You're asking for it. So this is why I'm saying whatever you ask for, he's going to send you the opposite first. See, we think that it's just I'm gonna ask for emotional intelligence and then I'm gonna just get emotional intelligence, or I'm gonna ask to become emotionally bulletproof and I'm gonna just become emotionally bulletproof. No, you got to get trained for that, beloved. You need the training for that. You ain't got the training for it. So what is he gonna do? When I asked him to become emotionally bulletproof, he sent so many torpedoes at me, I thought I was in a war zone. I'm talking about people firing at me left and right. But that's how I became this version of myself. He made sure that I got the training. So whatever you pray for, just know that the opposite of that is going to come first. That's how you're going to get trained. So when you're asking for patience and wisdom and awareness and all of these things, just know that people are going to start coming into your life that's going to expose the fact that you don't have it first. That part right there, Trina, you got to have thick skin to do what I'm doing right now. When the whole world can just come at you and say whatever they want to say, and people can hide behind the screen and never get caught and all this other stuff, never have to come face to face with me. I'm ready for it. I've got the training now. I've got the training so now that I can teach other people. Reese's Pieces, I see you, beloved. I got you. But everybody understand that. So whatever it is you're asking for, just know that the opposite of that is going to come first. It's not going to come in the way that you think it's going to come. I'm telling you, the emotional. I mean, the becoming emotionally bulletproof, in my opinion, is that and detachment are the two greatest skills, in my opinion. Because detachment means there's no more suffering in your life, and emotional bulletproofing means that no matter what a person says about you, it never changes the way you feel about yourself. Never. No matter what they call you, it would just never change the way you feel about yourself. Now we're gonna meet Reese's Pieces. We're gonna meet, beloved. Yeah, that detachment is a bad boy. Your biggest lesson is your biggest blessing. That's what's important to know. Your biggest lesson is your biggest blessing. Some of you guys have a purpose-sized void in you that cannot be filled with other people. Whether you're lonely or bored with your life or whatever the case may be, that's your purpose-sized void. And it doesn't matter how many people you add to your life, you'll never fill that void. How do I get there, coach? It's time for you to become dangerously consistent. Can you become dangerously consistent in every area of your life? That's the only thing that's stopping you, beloved. We're not talking about money here. We're not talking about money here. You ain't got to reach in your pocket for this one. Can you become dangerously consistent when it comes to the gym? Dangerously consistent in your relationship. Dangerously consistent showing up for yourself. Dangerously consistent by eliminating the procrastination and the excuses. Dangerously consistent when it comes to speaking your truth. Dangerously consistent when it comes to turning every should into a must. Dangerously consistent when making sure that every decision you make not only benefits the current version of you, but the future version of you as well. Dangerously consistent when it comes to walking, acting, talking, and breathing like there's no limitations to your personal abilities, because you are the limitation, beloved. There are no other limitations. Can you become dangerously consistent? I appreciate that gift, beloved. That's what's important. Sharon, I see. I'm telling you, that's the only thing that's stopping you. That's the only thing that's stopping you. The day that you decide, see, you're one decision away from the most powerful version of yourself. One decision. And what's that one decision? To become dangerously consistent. The version of you that you would be on the other side of you becoming dangerously consistent, the version of you that you are right now can't touch that version of you. You only got 4 quadrants that you have to master. You got your physical world, your mental world, your spiritual world, and your financial. You don't have to worry about your financial quadrant because the other 3 are the manifestation of that one. So the 4th one is automatic when I get the other 3 in line. My physical world, dangerously consistent. Mental world, dangerously consistent. Spiritual world, dangerously consistent. And then the byproduct of that shows up in your financial quadrant. In this moment right now, I'm telling you, this is the key to the game. It's just to become dangerously consistent. I'm dangerously consistent when it comes to speaking my truth. I'm dangerously consistent when it comes to never accepting less than I deserve. I'm dangerously consistent when it comes to loving myself. I'm dangerously consistent when it comes to keeping every single promise to myself. I'm dangerously consistent when it comes to showing up for myself. I'm dangerously consistent when it comes to never settling for less than I deserve. When I get to that gym, I'm dangerously consistent. My diet, I'm dangerously consistent. I wake up like I say I need to in the morning. I'm dangerously consistent, right? Every goal I have in life, I'm going after it. I'm dangerously consistent. I don't do excuses anymore. Dangerously consistent. Why? Because excuses are permission slips that you write yourself to remain the same. We ain't got time for that. Run the play. Dangerously consistent. Because that version of you right there, there are no toxic relationships. That version of you right there, there is no one disrespecting that version of you. That version of you right there would walk away from the table the instant that disrespect showed up. I'm not, it wouldn't be a toxic relationship. The version of you that becomes dangerously consistent, can't nobody touch that version of you. Period. And what's beautiful about it is that version of you doesn't cost money. We ain't talking about money here. That's a decision. You one decision away from becoming the most powerful version of yourself. That's a decision that you stand on. And I tell you guys all the time, there's certain decisions that you can make that will melt everything else away. All of the other impurities get melted away. Procrastination, making excuses, doubting yourself, all that goes away. It all goes away. It's gone. It all goes away. Because it can't stay in a mindset, it can't stay in an environment where you become dangerously consistent. Doubt can't live in that environment. Procrastination can't live in that environment. Not showing up for yourself can't live in that environment. Coach Jay, I appreciate you, beloved. Nothing can sustain that environment that's out of alignment with where you're going. And I tell you guys this all the time. So when I'm making decisions, see, when you make that decision, here's the thing about the decision. Your decision is like the front of the train. The choice is like the back of the train. So anytime you make that decision to become the most powerful version of you, to become dangerously consistent, to become the most disciplined version of you, once you make that decision, the decision is the front of the train. But that choice is the back of the train. And the choice is going to determine who you ultimately end up becoming, not the decision. See, the reason why most people don't become powerful is because the energy that you're in when you make the decision is not the same energy that you're in when it's time to execute on the choice. Because let me give you an example of what I'm saying. I say a month from now, I'm going to start working out 5 days a week. That's the decision. It's out front. Here come 30 days later. Now it's time for me to execute on the decision, but I make a different choice. Nah, I ain't going to do it. I'll wait. I'm tired. I got too much on my plate. So the decision was out front. The decision could have changed my entire physical being. But the choice kept me the same. And for some of you guys, what's hurting you is not your decisions. What's hurting you is the choice. See, the decision was, I'm going to leave this relationship. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of not getting what I deserve. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get that part. That was the decision. But when it came time to execute on the decision, you made a different choice. The choice kept you in the relationship, not the decision. The decision took you out of it. The choice kept you in it. I'll give you another example. I'm tired of going to this job. They always pass it over me on the promotions. They never give me anything. They don't ever see my worth and see my value. They don't appreciate me, all of that. I get it. So then you say, I'm going to leave this job and go find another job. That's the decision. But when it comes time to execute on that decision, you make a different choice. Oh, there's no good jobs out there, and I don't want to have to go start over, and I don't want to go back, start at the bottom again. You make a different choice. I tell you guys this all the time. What's hurting you, if you took every decision you made and every choice and you align these two, they wouldn't be able to touch you. Wouldn't be a person on the planet that can touch you. What's hurting you right now is that your choices and decisions are not aligned. They beefing with each other. Your choices and decisions are beefing with each other because the day that you get them to align, they ain't gonna be able to touch you. I'm leaving the relationship, execute on the choice. I'm starting that gym, execute on the choice. I'm leaving the job, execute on the choice. I'm moving away from this over here, execute on the choice. The day that your choices and decisions align, they ain't gonna be able to touch you. They ain't gonna be able to touch you, beloved. The only thing that's hurting you right now, I promise you, man, you didn't came up with some decisions. Oh, I'm gonna write that book. I'm gonna start that business. I'm gonna start my own course. I'm gonna start a podcast. I'm gonna start going live. And then as soon as it was time for you to execute on that, you made a different choice. See, the choice is as light as a feather. And let me tell you why. Because when you make the decision, you're operating at a higher vibrational frequency. But when you make the choice, you're operating at a lower vibrational frequency. See, that's why awareness is so important. Because when awareness, you're gonna say, nah, we ain't got time to go off my feelings. I don't have time to go off my mood. I don't have time to go off of the energy that I'm in right now. I'm getting ready to execute on that decision that I made because I won't break another promise to me. Because when I break promises to me, people will enter my life wearing the face of every broken promise. And because I don't keep my word to me, they won't keep their word to me either. The standard is me. Some of you guys would be so powerful right now if every choice and decision aligned. I'm telling you. So you would be so far in life right now. I mean, some of you guys have probably come up with some award-winning decisions. I'm talking about some things that would literally change your whole life. But when it came time to execute on that bad boy, you made a different choice. Because the energy that you are in when you make the choice and the energy that you're in when you make the decision are not the same. This is why, listen, your choices and let me say it this way, your feelings are your employees. You never go off of that. So when it comes time for me to execute on that choice, I'm doing it. I'm giving them how I feel in the moment. I don't need motivation. I don't need to be pumped up. I don't need to be any of that. And that's what I'm trying to wake you guys up to. Don't focus on your mood. Don't focus on your feeling. Don't focus on your circumstances. Don't do any of that because that's a lot of the reason. That's the thing that's keeping you stuck. The decision energy and the choice energy are not the same. When you make the decision, you're going to feel powerful. You're going to be inspired. You were in a good mood. You probably got some good news. There was something going on good in your life. This is how God is testing you. But when it came to that choice, you were operating at a lower vibrational frequency. You were tired. Probably had a long day. The kids acting up. You got to go cook dinner. You're like, I'll just start that later. And you didn't align the two. That part right there, Rosie, that part right there, beloved. What Rosie just said. Do it scared, do it broke, do it alone. Do it. Do it scared, do it broke, do it alone. But do it. If you need to put post-its on your put post-its on, listen, y'all might think I'm crazy, but I would put post-its on my mirror because I'm always in the bathroom mirror. Post-its on the mirror, post-its on the refrigerator, post-its anywhere I can, guest bathroom, anywhere I can. I'm gonna put those post-its just to remind myself, man, make sure that every choice and decision aligns, because that's part of what's keeping you stuck. I'm gonna lead a relationship, you make a different decision. You make a different choice. I'm gonna lead a job, make a different choice. I'm gonna start working out, make a different choice. Your choices and decisions aren't aligned, beloved. You ain't gonna never become powerful that way. I tell you guys this all the time, determination is discipline's big brother, because determination doesn't care about feelings and mood and all this other stuff like that. Man, determination is like, now we can go do this. That part right there, Lamika, that part right there, you said it best, beloved. You summarized everything that I was trying to highlight. Let me say this to you. I need you to write this down. I need you to write this down. Every time you explain your life to someone else, you're giving them the power to put your life on trial. Every time you explain your life to someone else, you're giving them the power to put your life on trial. Every time you explain yourself to someone else, you're handing them the discounted version of you. The version of you who explains yourself is protecting an unhealed wound. I said the version of you that felt the need to explain yourself to someone else is protecting an unhealed wound. Latina Realtor, what's up, beloved? You seek approval from other people, which means that you're not confident in who you are. That's why you do it. You seek approval from other people. Hold on. Beloved, you said you're at work listening. I love it. Let me say this to you real quick. Watch this right here. Boom. Every person walking has just as many mistakes as you, just as many failures as you, has shown up small just as many times as you, dealing with trauma like you, dealing with pain like you, dealing with suffering like you, trying to figure out life, doing life for the first time just like you. How did this person become so important? This person is fighting an internal war in their mind that 9 times out of 10 they're losing, just like we are. This person has some Goliath in their life that they need to slay to become who God created them to be. What makes that person have more power than you? I can make the argument that the person may have far more mistakes and failures and setbacks than you do. The person you seek to validate you can't even validate themselves. We sitting here trying to get validation from people who haven't even discovered their purpose in life. Now, I understand if you're dealing with a spiritual teacher or somebody you're dealing with someone that's already something that you are looking to become. I get that part. You a basketball player. You sitting here talking to the coach. Yeah, you want his validation. Makes all the sense in the world. Makes all the sense in the world. You studying self-awareness and self-mastery. You got a coach. You want to get that person's validation to make sure that you're on the right track. Makes all the sense in the world. You at the gym. You've never worked out before. You hired a personal trainer. Yeah, you want the personal trainer validation. You want that person to let you know you're doing the exercises in the right way so that you don't hurt yourself. That makes sense to me. For everything else, what are we talking about here? We're looking for people to confirm things that really only we can confirm. Because what I need you to understand is this: validation is a gift you give yourself. You don't get it from other people. The moment you assign meaning to what that person says, you unlock that in you. Same thing with security. You don't get security from people. Security is the gift you give yourself. Every gift is a gift you give yourself. I can give you a great example of it. Let's just say you go buy a dog. And you go buy this dog because somebody broke in your home. So you go buy a protection dog. The dog is not what gives you the security. What gives you the security is the meaning you assign to the dog. The story that you tell yourself about what you think the dog is going to do if something happens in that moment. That's what unlocks the feeling of security. The dog doesn't unlock that. The meaning you assign to its presence does. So security was a gift you gave yourself. The same thing when it comes to validation. What you made that mean about you is what unlocked what made you feel valid in that moment. Cash, what's up, beloved? Yeah, so when you I'm gonna give you a great example of it. I think, because I used to teach people this with respect to the dog. The dog gives you the feeling, the dog gives you permission to unlock the feeling of security, right? You go get the protection dog. You don't know what the dog is gonna do because you never had to see the dog in action before. So where's this security coming from? How do you feel so secure now? The dog hasn't had to do anything yet. It hasn't barked at anyone. It hasn't had to bite anyone. Hasn't had to attack anyone. It hasn't had to do anything yet. So the dog is there, but it hasn't shown you anything. But the meaning you assign, the story you create in your mind about whatever that person was that you bought the dog from, whatever they told you became a program in your mind. And you created a story around that. And you unlocked the feeling of security. Now you sleeping good in the house that you was once terrified in and all these other things like that, but the dog hasn't done anything. And here's the thing. If something happens and that dog takes off running in the other direction, doesn't secure you at all, doesn't protect you at all, then where did that feeling come from? Where did it come from? It came from you. Dog took off running. Somebody broke in the house. Somebody broke in the house. The dog took off. The dog was like, out. You ain't paid me enough for all this. Hey, Sonya, the dog was like, look, man, they came in here with guns. You ain't. The dog was like, listen, you ain't say they was gonna have guns. You ain't said nothing about it's gonna be 5 people. You ain't paid me enough for all this. I ain't coming here for all. Look, The dog stressed out. I'm talking about the dog stressed out. Now the dog need anxiety pills. The dog depressed. The dog is like, listen, coach, I ain't coming here for all that. I promised y'all I was gonna bark if somebody showed up at the back door. That's what I promised you. Y'all was gonna get 3 barks out of me. Roof, roof, roof. That's it. I'm giving y'all 3 barks. Once them guns came out, I'm telling you, man, it's crazy. The dog is like, you ain't said nothing about a gun. You ain't said nothing. I ain't got knife training. You ain't said nothing about all of that. Yeah, Nicole, I'm telling you, beloved, the dog said, listen, I'm gonna give y'all 3 barks. Y'all get 3. Y'all get 3 barks out of me. On the 4th bark, I'm out. I'm telling you. Dog's like, look, I'm happy y'all feel encouraged. The dog is like, I'm happy y'all feel encouraged in my presence, but I ain't say I was gonna do all of that. I'm so happy that you feel warm and welcome when you in my presence, but I ain't say I was gonna do all of that. Y'all done created stories about me I ain't signed up for. That's actually a true story. That's actually a true story. What girl, I'm telling you, the dog said, listen, I'm gonna give y'all 3 barks. On the 4th bark, I'm out. The 4th bark, I'm out. You getting 3, 4th one, I'm gone. Kai, I see you, look. He bounced. I'm talking about I spent $20 on this dog. And if you looked at him, if you looked at this dog, you swear up and down, he'll kill everything in the world. You swear up and down. You swear up and down. You would swear up and down if you just saw the dog and you didn't see anything else. I mean, you just saw his presence. That's all you saw. You wouldn't even want to be within 10 feet of the dog. You'd have said, Coach, I'm gonna come in your house, but you got to put the dog up first. That's what you would have said. The dog was 200 pounds. You would have said to me, Coach, I like you, but you got to put that dog up before I come inside. That's what you would have said. Because that's what I thought too. I thought the dog was tough as hell. Rocco, I'm telling you, beloved, I thought the dog was tough as hell. That dog didn't have it. Tough wasn't nowhere in the dog. Yeah, he ran. He gave me 3 barks. On that 4th one, he was out of there. BHIC, y'all crazy, man. Yeah, I'm telling you. I was like, oh, man, we sit here thinking this dog finna just tear something, man. That dog said, listen, man, my training didn't come with all of that. All right, man, let me, that's funny, man. That's funny. I'm telling you, y'all think I'm lying. I'm telling you, big as a lion had the heart of a chihuahua. You just said it, Rich. He was as big as a lion, had the heart of a chihuahua. All right, let me knock the rest of this because we got let me try to I'm laughing right now because it's funny now, but it speaks to what I'm saying with respect to, okay, well, where did all that security come from? Why did we feel all of this security? Why did we feel protected? Why did we feel, because we hadn't seen anything. So we created the story of the dog in our mind that was out of alignment with the real dog. That's the point that I'm trying to make to you. But you could take the dog out of the equation and put a person there. It's the same thing. So when we fall in love, we fall in love with the version of the people that we create in our mind. We fall in love with who we get to become in their presence. We fall in love with what the person helps us to not have to feel anymore, what they help us to escape. What they allow us to become desensitized to with respect to our past and our pain and our trauma, all of these things that we didn't want to deal with when we were single. And so, we fall in love with who we get to become in their presence, and then the role that they play in our lives. We fall in love with that. But there's certain wants, needs, desires, and expectations in you. And when you add that person to your life, you create a version of them that's based on those wants, needs, expectations, and you create a story around that. And I'm gonna give you the biggest qualifier in the history of qualifiers. I'm gonna give you the biggest qualifier in the history of qualifiers. Watch this. You have unconditional love for Jesus right now, but you ain't never met him. You have never been in his presence. You don't know what he sounds like. You don't know what he feels like. You don't know anyone else that knows him. You have no empirical knowledge with respect to who he is. You only have conceptual knowledge, but you love him. Well, how? How can your love be that powerful for someone you've never met, you've never touched? You don't know the sound of their voice. You don't know how he smells. You don't know how he thinks. You don't know his patterns, his behaviors, none of that. Now, the man next door to you that lives next door to you, you've seen him. You've heard him. You've probably talked to him a time or two. No love for him. But you got all this powerful love for someone that you've never seen. Why? Because what you love is the version of him that lives in your mind. You love the version of him that your mind has constructed based upon stories and certain beliefs and certain things that people have told you, but you have nothing physical to go off of. And we do the same thing with other people. Jesus lives in your mind and in your heart. That's what you love, but you never physically touched him. But the man next door, you see him. The people at your job, you see them. You walk right past them. No love for them. So how can you love what you haven't seen and not love what you have? And that's all I'm saying, beloved. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying you're a bad person at all. What I'm saying is that, okay, well, the people, you surrounded by people that you see every day. You can hear them, you can see them, you know how tall they are, you see an accurate depiction of them. The whole thing. No love there. But when it comes to Jesus, you probably walk to the other side of this earth just to go see him. But you have nothing tangible to go off of. Why? Because he lives in the story you've created in your mind. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. That's the point. This is not about religion. This is not about right or wrong. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that when people come into your life, what we fall in love with is the story. Because the story is what unlocks the powerful love in you. The powerful love in you that you feel for Jesus comes because of the story you created in your mind. The story is what unlocks the feeling and the emotion, beloved, and the meaning you assign to it. That's what makes it powerful. And that's why he's perfect in your mind. Was he perfect in life? Who knows? We'll never know that. But he's perfect in your mind. And nothing will ever be able to knock down that image, because that image is predicated on your beliefs. It's predicated on who you need him to be for you. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Stories unlock the emotion, and then you put meaning behind that. Once you put meaning behind that, it solidifies. That's what I'm saying. And so, when he's saying love your neighbor as you love yourself, well, that's a problem. That's a problem. And the reason why it's a problem is because most people don't love themselves. That's why you can't love the neighbor. How can I give the neighbor something that I can't consistently give myself? That's the problem. When Jesus said that, he was operating from his level of consciousness, not yours. So he could do it. Because when you're operating at that level of consciousness, there is no pain, there is no trauma, there is no shadow, there is no ego, there is no unhealed versions of yourself. So when he said that he was operating from a different level of consciousness than you are right now, that's hard for you. If I told you right now that you have to love your neighbor as you love yourself, that's going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard for you. I'm not going to say this is impossible, but what I'm saying is it's going to be hard for you. Once you get to that level of awareness and in that level of consciousness, then it won't be hard for you, because you'll see the world differently. But the reason why it's hard for us to love our neighbor is because it's hard for most of us to love ourselves. We struggling to just do that right. That's a struggle every day for you, because your ego is still online. Your pain is still online. Your trauma is still online. Your wounds are still online. The abandonment, the heartbreak, the failure, the divorces, all of the things that you're going through leading up to this moment, you still battling that. So it's like, how I love my neighbor when I'm still fighting an internal war in my mind right now that I'm sometimes losing the battle too. So it doesn't make you a bad person, but when we say things like that, people who say things like that are oftentimes operating from a different level of consciousness than where you are now. That's one of the hardest things in the world, if you operate from a lower level of consciousness. Candace, I see you, beloved. It's like me telling you guys, oh, just be emotionally bulletproof. You like, well, damn, coach, it's easy for you to say it. You look how long you've been doing this. We just now stepping on the scene. So yeah, I'm reacting to criticism. Yeah, I'm reacting to judgment. Yeah, I'm reacting to people that disrespect me. Yeah, I'm reacting to things. I can't put that on you right now. Yeah, just be emotionally bulletproof. Just be like me, because there was a time when I wasn't that. And that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Just be self-aware. Just be emotionally intelligent. Stop reacting to people. You're like, coach, I'm just learning right now. I'm still trying to figure all this out. Right? So it's you got to have compassion, empathy, and understanding, when it comes to this, because again, you can say something or somebody can quote you, but for the person that's just coming into this, that's going to be hard. I'm speaking from my level of awareness and my level of consciousness when I tell you, oh, just be emotionally bulletproof. You're like, damn, coach, look how long it took you to do it. That's why I've mastered the ability to simplify the complicated, because I didn't have what you guys have. What you guys get Monday through Friday, and for the people in my community, 7 days a week, what you guys get, I didn't get this. Kai, I see you. I didn't have a person coaching me every day. I didn't have a community where I could go every day. I didn't have that. See, what God is saying is this: whatever you see missing in the world, create it. That's why he created you, beloved. Whatever you see that's missing, 9 times out of 10, nobody else sees it. See, this is the reason why nobody see what makes you special. What makes you special is because I see you, beloved. What makes you special is no one sees the world the way you do. There's not a single human being walking that sees the world the way you do. So where you see a problem, I may not see it. So when I'm walking around before, and I'm like, damn, it took me forever to learn all of this stuff that I'm learning. My students getting some of it in 6 months, a year. I'm talking about strong, powerful, confident, self-aware, all this stuff. Why? Because the void that I saw, I created the solution to. And that's what God is saying. That's how the world changes. The world changes not by you sitting around complaining about what's broken. The world changes by you becoming the solution to what's broken, so that other people don't have to go through what you went through. So boom, I'm walking down the street. There's a pothole. I fall in the pothole. Boom, second day I'm walking down the street, same pothole. I see it, but I think that they got it patched up. I fall in it again. Third day, I'm walking down the street. I see the pothole, but this time I walk around it. God is saying, quit walking down the street. You should have learned the first time. And so when I saw the problem that was happening, my job was to fix it. Because what about all the people that's coming down me with the pothole that I fell in? What about all of the people that's coming down the street that somebody may get hurt, somebody may get injured in that? That's what I'm saying. So when you see the problem, you become the solution. Kai, I see you, beloved. Because you already are the solution. You're the solution to everything because you're the divine. You are the solution to everything. You don't have problems. You have situations that need to be dealt with. That's all you have. You never had a problem in the history of your life. Problems just mean that the world isn't spinning, turning, and revolving the way you needed to in that moment that you label it as a problem. That's all it is. You have situations that need to be dealt with. You are the divine. There is no problem that's on your level. Problems belong at your feet. They don't belong in your mind. There's not a problem that you have that deserves to be on the same level as you. Nothing deserves to be on the same level as you. The same way that you will never be on the same level as God. You can save every baby in this country. You ain't gonna be on his level. You can end world hunger. You ain't gonna be on his level. You can end homelessness. You ain't gonna be on his level. You will never be on his level no matter what you do. But the same thing applies to your life. Because you either created, attracted, or manifested everything that's in your life currently. So nothing gets to be on the same level as the creator. You're not on God's level because he created you. How you gonna be more powerful than him? But I can say the same thing to you. How did that relationship become more powerful than you? And you attracted, created, or manifested the relationship. How that job become more powerful than you? When you sitting here all stressed out and worried and depressed behind the job, when you created the thing, you cannot allow your creations to cause you to suffer. I don't give a damn what the creation is, whether that's your relationships, whether that's your friendships, whether that's your place of employment, or some business that you started. You can never allow your creations to cause you to suffer, because the moment you start suffering, then the creation needs to go. That's the number one indicator. The moment that you start suffering, there's pain behind the creation. That's God's way of saying it's time for you to release this thing. You either need to increase your consciousness or you need to let go of the thing. God does not allow his creations to stress him out. He's not sitting there depressed. Ain't no anxiety going on. We do that. We're the only creatures that get stressed out and depressed and experience all this fear and anxiety behind the very things that we create. Anything that you created, you can detach yourself from. You never allow your creations to be on the same level as you. You always have to create space. There's you, and then there's what you create, and then there's the space. Nothing gets to be on your level. You suffer because you put the things that you created on your level, and you put them on your level to such a degree that they have the power to impact you negatively. Now, you have fun with your creations. You control your creations. You master your creations, but you never allow them to cause you to suffer. I said never. Double down on that never part. Yeah, because you got that. You never allow you. No, think about what I'm saying. That's like you walk up on God. God, what's wrong with you? He's sitting there depressed. Oh, I'm stressed out about this, and oh, I'm stressed out about that. You're gonna be like, wait a minute, you God, you ain't got to be stressed out about that. He's saying the same thing to you. Why are you stressed out about what you created, attracted, or manifested? Why are you allowing it? It's happening to you because you put the thing on your level. Nothing deserves to be on your level. Nothing. Because you're the creator of it. You gave birth to the thing. The thing didn't give birth to you. I'm never stressed out about Mindset Masters. Never. I love what I do. I feed the community, feed the community, feed the community. But there's no pain there. There's no suffering there. See, when we create things from a place of desperation, there's suffering. When you create things from a place of inspiration, there's peace, there's love, there's joy, there's happiness. So if you've created something and it's causing pain, it's causing suffering, it's causing unhappiness, it's causing fill in the blank, it's only because you created it from a place of desperation. You were broke at the time, you needed something at the time, you were trying to solve some problem, so you did the thing. You didn't do it from love, you did it from desperation. And that doesn't make you a bad person. But I'm just saying this is why it's out of alignment with your highest and best self. Doozy, I see you, beloved. There's only two things two types of goals created out of inspiration and goals created out of desperation. Most people jump into relationships from a place of desperation. That's why they don't work. You didn't show up to the relationship looking to give love. You showed up to the relationship looking to receive it. That's the difference. That's the difference. That's the difference, beloved. All right, where we at? All right, let me Jamie, what's up, beloved? Man, I see you. Yeah, I'm gonna set my Doozy. Yeah, absolutely, 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 beloved, absolutely. Absolutely. No, I appreciate that. Raja, what's up, beloved? Learn, get better, move forward. Carry that mindset with you all day long. Carry that mindset with you all day long. Learn, get better, move forward. Learn, get better, move forward. That's it. Learn, get better, move forward. You know, and you got it. Learn, get better, move forward. Queen, I see you. Queen Shiva, what's up, beloved? Type me in the comments real quick, you guys, if this is your very first time on the live stream with me. type me in the comments, please. DJ Perky, I see you. Man, I appreciate you, beloved. If this is your very first time on a live stream with me, let me see how many first timers. Welcome all first. You've been with me, love. You've been with me for a year. Oh, I love that. 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 Happy 1 year anniversary to us. Renetta, what's up, beloved? Happy 1 year anniversary to us. I love that. For anyone, if this is your very first time, welcome, welcome all first and last time listeners. You said you from Detroit. I love it. I love it. I love it. Yeah, Lynetta's out there in Detroit as well. I love that. Welcome in Detroit. For anyone that's new to the platform, my name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in unique harmony. What's up, beloved? I specialize in self-awareness, self-mastery, relationship mastery, emotional intelligence. I specialize in, helping my students and clients to become the most powerful versions of themselves. I'm just operating out of my purpose, right? And once you step into your purpose, there's no pain, there's no suffering, there's no trauma, there's no depression, there's no anxiety, there's no fear, there's no any of those things, only because you are completely in alignment. All of the negative emotions that we experience are only coming to tell you that you're out of alignment. The same way that when the check engine light comes on in your car, it's coming to tell you that there's a problem somewhere else, right? Depression is your check engine light. Anxiety is your check engine light. Fear is your check engine light. Doubt is your check engine light. Imposter syndrome, check engine light. And what's so crazy is we've been programmed and conditioned to look at these things as though something is wrong. So if you were driving your real car and the check engine light came on, well, you wouldn't go sell the car. You wouldn't go sell the car. Why would you sell the car because the check engine light came? The check engine light is not the problem. You need that check engine light. Because what if you're driving out in the middle of the desert somewhere and there's like gas station after gas station, but this would be 200 miles where there's no gas stations. And the check engine light comes on, just let you know you got low coolant in the car. You need that. But that's exactly what depression is doing, and anxiety is doing, and fear is doing, and doubt is doing. And, that's what these things are doing. They're all just check engine lights. We've been programmed to go and try to get the check engine light removed. We're on medication to remove the check engine light, to numb the check engine light, to become desensitized to the check engine light. Mind blowing to me. You want to take a pill to remove the check engine light? We won't take the time to master ourselves, but we'll jump in that relationship. We won't take the time to master ourselves, but we're quick to chase external validation. The same energy that it takes you to jump in a relationship, to chase external validation, because we're more concerned with how our life looks than how it actually feels. And that's what's crazy to me. As long as it looks good, as long as people think I'm winning, I'll go to the therapist and let the therapist figure out what? Your spiritual problems? Because they don't have training in that. They don't have training in that. Now, I can tell you about your patterns. And I can tell you about your behaviors. And I can give you different things with respect to, medications and write you a prescription for your anxiety and depression and all of that. But you are a spiritual being, beloved. You only have spiritual problems. You don't have worldly problems because your spirit is not of this world. So the moment that I take some worldly information, book knowledge, and I try to apply it to you, I'll never solve the problem because there was never a problem to begin with. How do I solve a problem when there was never a problem to begin with? How do I fix something that was never broken? You were just out of alignment. See, people always try to change what they don't understand. The moment we don't understand something, we want to change it. But things don't need to be changed. They need to be understood. You just need to better understand yourself. You're not broken. You don't need to be fixed. You're not a car. You need to be understood. You need to be loved. You need to be appreciated. You need to be in environments that only honor your presence, not just tolerate it. You need to have people that speak love into you, not pull need out of you. I need you for this. I need you for that. Be this for me. Be that for me. You don't need that in your life, beloved. The only thing you need is the fully healed version of yourself. You and God combined. That's alignment. Everything else is only the byproduct of that. It's the 1 + 1 = 3. The combination of you and God creates every third thing in your life. Everything in your life in this moment is a third thing. I don't give a damn what label you put on it. It's a third thing. The kids are a third thing. It comes from the original relationship. Your significant other is a third thing. It comes from the original relationship. Your job, car, clothes, money, all third things comes from the original relationship. That relationship should always be strong, should always be powerful, and should always be aligned. The moment that it's not, here comes depression. The moment that it's not, here comes fear. The moment that it's not, here comes anxiety. These are all indicators that the original relationship is out of alignment. Here comes, because when your faith walks out, faith is what you can't afford to lose. You can lose all kinds of things in life. You can lose all the people you want. What you can't lose is faith. Because the moment that your faith is lost, you open the window for everything else. Your anxiety is telling you you've lost faith. Fear is telling you you've lost faith. Doubt is telling you you've lost faith. Low self-confidence, you've lost faith. Faith comes from insecurity. I need to be vulnerable. I need to surrender to God. I need to know that He's got what I can't see. That's what's causing all the problems. You're trying to solve problems that you don't have control over. You all in His lane. You overthinking things. That's overthinking is underbelieving. You're not believing. You're not trusting. All of your problems, I didn't say some of them, all of your problems could be solved if you maximize your faith. Stop chasing people and chase your faith. Stop chasing validation and chase your faith. Stop chasing likes and shares on social media and chase your faith. It's the thing you should be chasing more than anything else. And you ain't got a reason to doubt Him. Not a reason on the planet. Look at your history. Look at every single thing He's pulled you through. Look at all of the things you've overcome. Look at who you are right now. Look at what He's got you learning. You ain't got a reason on the planet to not have faith. You can't afford. Faith is the one thing you can't afford to lose. I can lose people all day long. I can't lose faith. I can lose jobs all day long. I can't lose faith. I can lose money all day long. I can't lose faith, because when I lose faith, I'm out of alignment with him. I'm on my own now. I'm like a ship without a rudder. I'm going wherever the current takes me, wherever my circumstances take me, wherever my problems take me, wherever my pain takes me. That's what happens when you ain't got faith. Your beliefs give you security. Faith is insecurity. We don't need to focus on what you already believe. We need to focus on what you can't see. Because what you can't see is where your power is. What you can see is everything you've already accomplished, everything you've acquired, everything you've manifested, everything you've overcome. We don't need to focus on that. We already know what the results are from that. But I'm going after things in life. I'm becoming more powerful in life. I've got future versions of myself that I want to become. Okay, well, I need my faith on 10. That's where we are now. You need faith more than you need that relationship. You need faith more than you need everything you chasing. You need faith more than you need your videos to go viral. You need faith more than you need anything. Because when I have faith, real faith, I'm not worried about anything. And I can only experience faith when I allow myself to be vulnerable, when I allow myself to surrender. That's the problem. We don't want to surrender. We're too busy trying to control everything. We want to control the outcome, predict the outcome, sit here and obsess over what might happen. No, man, that's his lane. The moment you step outside of the present moment, you're in his lane. I'm talking about the moment you take one foot outside of the present moment, you all in his lane. So what you need him for? If you're not going to have faith, what do you need him for? You ain't trusting him now. This is why all this stuff is coming, because your faith isn't on 10. What you need him for then? And your faith should be strongest when life isn't going the way you need it to, not when it is. Can you believe the most when things are falling apart? Can you believe the most when that person walks out of your life? Can you believe the most when you get let go from that job? Can you turn your faith up then? Or can you only turn it up when things are going the way you need it to? Beliefs give you security. Faith comes from insecurity. You don't know. That's why you need it. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. That's why I need it. I don't know what's going to happen 5 seconds from now. That's why I need it. And that's what makes God feel powerful, because he's saying, my child is counting on me. Picture you got a 5-year-old child. And every time you go somewhere with this child is terrified. You're like, baby, I got you. Mommy's not going to let anything happen to you. Daddy's not going to let anything happen. You ain't got to worry about nothing. No. I'm so afraid. It would break your heart. It would break your heart that your child didn't believe that you would protect them. It would break your heart that they stay in the house. They'd rather stay in the house than go somewhere with you, because they don't believe you're going to come through for them. Even though you will, but they ain't giving you the opportunity. That's what God is saying. You ain't giving me the opportunity. You try to do it without me. You all out here in the future. That's where your anxiety is coming from. Faith is insecurity. Will you allow yourself, show God the underbelly to who you are? Show him the underbelly to who you are. You ain't got to be tough with him. Let him know that you don't know. Let him know that you can't figure it out. Let him know that you can't do it without him. Give him the underbelly to who you are. You can use that tough exterior for the people at your job. And for the people on social media, don't give him that version. Give him the underbelly to who you are, because that's where you're most tender. He's waiting on that version of you. We show up praying to God with the same version of ourselves that we bring to the job. We show up praying to God with the same version of ourselves that we are when we go to the gym. He doesn't need that from you, because you're sending him a mixed message. When I go to him, I say, man, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna let you figure it out. I already know you got the plan. I already know you got the play. I don't even want to know how it's gonna work. I'm gonna just show up and be ready when it does. I'm gonna take care of this moment. You take care of the next one. Run the play. I'll take care of this moment. You take care of the future one. Run the play. I stay in my lane. No traffic in my lane. Craig, what's up, beloved? Whip girl, I see you, beloved. Elizabeth, love you too, beloved. Love you too. I'm gonna end it on